Hey everyone, it's Joey Murphy here with lightsatwholesale.com and Murphy Christmas Lighting. We're again live with Ron Robey. It's going to be episode 5. We're on episode 5. Ron Robey discussing training and business. We're going to hyper focus on the training. We got a training coming up, permanent lighting. We got the headphones on today. We got the mics with the rainbow RGB. And we're going to bring in Ron right now to introduce himself, tell him a little bit about himself, and start talking about training.
What's up?
What's up, Ron?
Yes. What's up?
He's like, I finally made it to the podcast.
Yeah, Murphy finally invited me. He said no the other day, and so I had to stoop down to the Jason Guyman interview. Have you seen that on
it was a good
Facebook? One thing I forgot to mention that I was a group expert in his group, but I did forget to mention that. But
well, I think it's given. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. It's my first time ever being on a podcast as a guest. Very first time. And in the beginning of it, I could hear myself talking back. The sound was kind of messed up, but other than that, I really had a good time doing my very first podcast. And he has a big following, so it was nice to be on there. Yeah,
he does a great job, and you guys went on together, said some really good stuff. Anytime you get two people, especially two hosts. Right. So I'm starting to host. I'm getting a lot more comfortable with it, but you're a host, right?
Yeah.
And then you just it feels a little different because somebody's in control of the whole thing, and then you're just kind of more receptive, and it's a lot more chill. It's a lot more relaxed. So
yeah, you're not giving the questions, you're answering them. It's a little different.
Yeah. But you're also got the mindset of a co-host, which is super awesome. That's why I'm excited about talking about this podcast and talking about training and everything. So tell us a little bit about your company and stuff, because you always say this is, my podcast, this and this. Tell us what you got going on for anybody who doesn't know Ron Robey.
Well, if you don't know me, I'm in the Christmas business, and I am permanently in the Christmas business. I think like my buddy Murph. We have Kingdom Christmas Lights. My wife and I started in 2018. I started it by myself, but my wife quit her job shortly after that October, and we did our first year of business in 2018 in Houston. Before that, I started a Christmas light business that, got some experience in 2012 in the Dallas area. Didn't go that great, but I learned a lot, and I learned enough to be successful the second time around. So, sometimes you fall on your face, and sometimes you have to start over again and again and again. But, all of those things, whether it's a failed relationship, or it's a failed business, or it's a failed anything, don't think I'm not going to trust myself again, or I'm not going to put myself out there again, or I'm not going to love someone again like I did because I was hurt. Just always think in your mind that's practice for the right person, or that's practice for the right moment. And right now, I think we're in the right moment. We're doing Christmas lights, and we're about to move into permanent lighting, and that's what the training is about coming up this weekend.
That's right. I like how you bring up about not winning all the time, and that's the thing about business is you don't win all the time, and then you fall on your face, and then it's well, at least was a lesson learned there, right? Because if you do I guess take a step backwards, you could if you talk about failing or not being successful, or there's so many words for just even describing that. How people have languages like Chinese language, but they'll say something and they're no, we have 5 different ways to say happiness. You know what I mean? I think the same thing goes with business and how to try to perfect business is there's so many different topics, and there's so many different ways to cut up and dice that thing up that it gets so hard to do, to where I think the permanent lighting thing, you're saying, is if you're in the holiday lighting business, even temporary, is you got customers asking about it. I know we just got 3 leads in this past week on permanent lighting, which was a little bit more than what we're used to. That's
I got your mailer, the one that you sent to your customers. I received it because we're customers of Murphy Christmas Lighting. We bought things from you guys, so we got the text message. I was like, Laura, look at this shit. We can just copy the whole damn thing and just put our logo in there. This is perfect.
Well, I try to engage with our customers, and then the thing is when we first started distributing, we did it on our CRM. We didn't even have an inventory management system. We'd send an invoice through Jobber, It's like, oh, you want this supplies? Like, here's an invoice. You know what I mean? It's just, we were a lot smaller and we didn't really invest into the software systems that we kind of needed to in the beginning. And so, yeah, you were on that list. You were like one of the first people that were like, hey, I need some reels. Send me 3 reels right now. And I'm like, okay. And so, yeah, you're still on that list. You probably
last season, right before the season was starting, I think we had 2 pallets show up. Just
you got
miscellaneous crap. Yeah. I mean, just nothing worth saying, oh, it's just this one item. It was just a bunch of stuff. Just like, well, give me 2 pallets of stuff. You're like, oh, I'll send it out next. And this was like in July.
Yeah, when you're with a distributing company, sometimes you're just like, yeah, throw on 3-4 pallets of that. It's just like you're talking about LTL shipments and stuff, and you're just like, throw it on there. And it's like, well, Ron, that's like $50,000. You're like, I don't give a shit. Throw it on there. You know what I mean? It's like, I need it now. You better send it.
You said I'll send it in a week and a half. And then the UPS guy has no idea where Joseph Murphy.
I know, man.
Like, what the hell, dude?
I got to get reps on the phone, everything else. I'm like, why aren't you picking this stuff up? Ron needs it right now.
I know. But, the thing is you need a lot of stuff. You don't just need the essentials. You need other stuff. You're like, do you have any ridge clips? You're like, you know what? Damn, I didn't think about it. And you're like, dude, I got like, 80,000 of them. How many do you need? You're like, send me 30.
So one thing when our distribution, because now it's with lightsatwholesale.com, and then Murphy Christmas Light is just an installation company. But what's weird, I really want to know from your side is that when we started distributing, there were certain items each year that kind of just, they weren't consistent so much. Like we'd have 1 or 2 off, but there was a couple items that were just like, I cannot keep this stuff in stock. No matter each year how much more I buy, it just seems like that gets soaked up and that gets soaked up. And it's like, how much lost revenue really was there if I just had it in stock? And so with you, and it goes with your distribution and then your installation side, because on the installation side, you may use a lot more than what the distributing side doing. It's not like it reflects like your installation does what your distribution does, like percentage wise of all the colors and stuff like that. Yeah. So like with distribution, what are some key items that you just always are running out of? And then what on the installation side are some that are running out of? Because I think it may surprise people.
Well, it's the non-essential items that you don't have and you don't know you need them until the customer says, hey, do you have a snowflake? Or do you have a 60-inch wreath with a lit bow? Or do you have, something that you're like, oh, I don't, but I can get it. If you want like C9 bulbs on the roof line typically. But I think the thing that's interesting is you're trying to predict what's going to happen in this short amount of time. And you're thinking, how many pink bulbs do you need for the season? How many red do you need, or warm white or pure white, or how many yellow do you need? Like, how many yellow bulbs do you need? And you're thinking, shit, I don't know, 1 case. I mean, no one wants this. Or how many cases of teal bulbs do you need? Because you're thinking, how many houses do I do are teal? Yeah. But then you just get surprised in the season that I cannot believe I sold 6 cases of yellow. Like yellow. I never would have thought in a million years that I would sell 6 cases of yellow. Or magnet clips. A lot of people use the magnet socket wire, the Lightnetics or whatever.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I have 50,000 magnet clips. In October, I'm completely sold out, and I cannot rebuy them at a good price. I don't have the relationship there in season. And it's like just totally caught me off guard. So I think the biggest thing is you plan based on, you have knowledge. You've been doing this for over a decade. You've been doing this for a long time, but every year you still get surprised at stuff that sells. Red, for example, didn't sell very good last year in comparison to other years, which was very surprising as well here in Texas.
Yeah.
And warm white mini lights surprised the hell out of me. Everyone was out of warm white mini lights last year.
I mean, even us, we were getting calls all over the country about like, hey, you got this? Does it color match? It kind of got a little crazy there. But I would say the magnet clips for sure are ones that I don't know why, but it just, boom, it's gone. Ridge clips is another one that like, boom, it's gone. But we have a lot of best ridge clips, which is an enclosed ridge clip, which is really good. And we have
the circle, like a circle ridge clip.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
We actually have a lot of those, even in the Texas location. So, with Lights at Wholesale and everything, they stock a lot of stuff because they sell a lot of stuff. And so it's really nice to kind of, it's really hard though to stock each location equally, right? So sometimes your order comes from another location. That's just with a bigger organization. Maybe if, the closest place is Texas, but Indiana has the magnets and we're out, like we'll split the shipment and stuff like that. So
well, that's nice. I think it's relationships though, because you realize when you're on top of that ladder, or you're at that customer's house, or you're just in the middle of the season really, and you need something and you need it right now, and you really would like to have a good price because you buy a lot of stuff. What relationships do you have to get that? And many people only have a relationship with the person who's telling them I don't have any more. They have all their eggs in that one basket. And if you're a supplier like, Lights at Wholesale, y'all have pretty much an abundance of everything. So it's not a big thing, but most of the suppliers don't. They don't have an inventory like that. And so you say, hey, do you have any of this? And the answer is no. Then you're like, now what do you do? And then you're paying way overpriced for some Ace Hardware kind of stuff again. And you learn your lesson that you better figure out your relationships in the off season, because that's super freaking important.
Yeah, that's where, the topic of this whole thing is training. And it's like, to be honest with you, sometimes going to these trainings and stuff is that networking side. I feel like that's what you're talking about. Is sometimes you connect with people, even other installers, where they have an excess of stuff and they don't want to hold on to it. And then you can, hey man, you got some ridge clips you're trying to get rid of. And it's like, yeah, I'll cut you a deal on it. Like I pre-ordered it, but now we're not going to move as much, and I'm going to offload my stuff to you. I call that like a logistical network. So if you can create like a logistical network with other installers, with other vendors and stuff, it's like, well, when the magnet clips or the ridge clips go out, is who can you call to get like the best price, to get the best margins? Otherwise, you're just going to be paying premium pricing. And sometimes that's what you got to do. I know sometimes that's what I did.
Well, that's what your customer does. But if you have the relationships, you're like, hey, look at this ridge clip. We ran out and we've been out. And then you come to my little warehouse and you say, you still have a full pallet? Oh my, if I would have known that, I could have moved them for you.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, I don't want my customer to have to go down the street and buy it somewhere else. I'm trying to provide this for my customer. So I'm looking for it, so my customer can just look for me. And that's what you're trying to do. But relationships, once again, that's super important.
Yeah, things like this ridge clip. That's this one right here.
That one's cool.
Best ridge clip. Yeah, so that way it stays.
When did that come out? Last year?
Oh no, it's been out. We've had, it's been a couple.
Has it been a couple years?
Yeah, it's been a couple now. But this one is, if we do use ridge clips, because there's a way to do it without using them, is this is the one we're using, because the Canny systems, they're nice for the ground stakes and stuff like that, but they have their own ridge clips. They even have like 2 or 3 different kinds. But to me, is I don't want them, when I pull them off, I want it to stay together. But the thing is, it's that there's my arrow.
The barbs
could, like, you go to pull it off, like you really need to pull the sides off and get them to like kind of pop. Don't pull them from like where the lights are, because you can really tear up some shingles and stuff.
I noticed that too.
Yeah.
You got to be careful taking those off. And when you take them off, it's trying to put them together so they're stored right. I seen someone online, I forget who it was, but he had like 10 of them that he put together, and then he put like a rubber band or a zip tie around 10. I seen that. I said, man, that's a great idea. But I went out to remove a commercial building myself that had ridge clips, and it was just so much work. I was like, just throw that shit in a box and I'll deal with it later.
That's why, even using the clips and doing it on the street side or whatever is like, that stuff just comes off a lot easier. It's easier to put up, and it's just universal.
Yeah.
But so there's supplies like that. I find it interesting that, again, the magnetics. So if you guys have magnetic jobs and stuff like that, definitely, I think those are the type. Do you find that as a specialty item or as a mainstay item?
Magnet clips are definitely a specialty item, because if it's your first year in business, I wouldn't recommend that you buy 1,000 magnet clips, because that's another one. You don't really know you need it until you need it. I do think the Lightnetics holds way stronger. It's stronger than the magnet, but most people are selling the lights to the customers anyway. The magnet clips are great, because you might be at a house that just has this one little piece that needs to be magnetic. And to run around with multiple spools, especially if you're running multiple crews, but if you're running around with multiple spools, it gets very expensive. I think just like 2-3 bags of magnet clips, and then just in case you're presented with a situation, you'll have them. That's what I recommend to new installers, magnet clips. But I think it's a specialty item.
Yeah. See, this is why I want to do some Christmas light trainings and stuff like that. It's because it's stuff like what we're saying right here is like, well, what should you buy year one? And it's like, like people say how to get a Christmas light company started or whatever. And it's like, well, it's pretty easy when you do the basic business practices, right? Like if you research just a little bit, it's like, this is what you need. You need, DBA, LLC, like you potentially get a CRM, but you can use Google Sheets and Excel and you can piece it together, right? And it's like, get on Google Business Profile and get this. And it's like, but then it's like, okay, I got all that stuff. That to me is like,
but you got no customers. You got 0 customers.
No customers, no photos. Hey, I want to do a website, but now I have to use stock photos. Oh, I'm going to rip off. What is it? What's his name?
Murphy. I just go to Murphy's page and steal all his photos.
Go to Ron's page.
Yeah. Rip off all his photos.
You use Ron's photos, and then you won't get any business. That's
exactly. Exactly. You're like, can you do that? Whatever's behind me. That can you do that one? It's like, yeah, of course.
Sure.
Give me $40,000, and I'll do that.
That turret there. Yeah, I can reach that with a 24 easily. Yeah. It's like, no.
I know. So, don't let OSHA know I'm out here, but I'm gonna try it. Seriously.
But I think with getting this right here, where it's getting a Christmas light business started, I think that's where a lot of guys are. I need to put started to get a Christmas light business, but to get it off the ground and get it started is like, well, what are the things and the time and attention that if you were to like say in training to all these people, because they're going to trainings and they're all over the country and some are free, some are not free. And
some are bullshit and some of them are decent.
Well, for the majority, I'm like, if somebody goes to a training, I really want them to walk away with at least something, right? That they can take.
I want to
motivate them.
I want a success story. Like, if you listen to Guyman, just because he's on every other night, he's always trying to tell you about success stories. Joe Schmo, he went to my training and then he went on to do this many houses and make this kind of money. You want, you want your results empirical, or what's the other word?
I don't know, you just said empirical, which is fancy enough,
Yeah, I mean, you want some data with your results of, you went to my class, you invested this amount of money, but then he went on to do these things. You want some kind of results of, some success stories. Yeah. And I think if you really poll the people who go to your class and find out how many permanent lighting jobs have you done after my permanent lighting class, the answer is probably not something you want to mention on a podcast, because many people never get that first job, or definitely don't get that 5th job. And that's what I think, if you're training, you should definitely have that as part of how you define success. Should be, how successful are the people that you teach, not you personally, but how successful are the people that attend your class. And that's what I've been focusing on the last week or two. So my thought was, obviously you're not very good at permanent lighting, so why don't you grab someone who you think is the best? And that's why Murphy here is coming to Houston, Texas, to teach everyone. He's with the corporate office of Lights at Wholesale and the Invisalights product, and he's going to be actually teaching. You've done many classes. They've been getting better and better, right? Every time.
Oh, yeah.
We're bringing that to H-Town, baby. H-Town. Come sign up for permanent lighting February 2nd and the 3rd.
Because that's the thing with like these podcasts, they get a little bit easier. These lives get a little bit easier. And then as the more and more you do training, it's more natural, the flow. Last training we did power injection, which we're definitely going to do in the Houston area. We're also going to cut channels and install them on buildings. Like this is they're not hard installs. Which I think it's a great thing for training, because there is some like, the peak, and like if you want to make a peak cut, or you want to go around this way after this slope, and it's like cutting the channels is the hard part. Based on the design and layout that you did with the bigger system, there's no need to power inject. But again, we're going to show how to power inject, what that looks like. I think it's going to be a pretty good training. If anybody, it's still not too late, right, to sign up? No.
We had a deadline on Friday. That was, if you want a demo kit, you need to let me know by Friday. But the training's still there. It's only $100, and it comes with a +1, so you can bring you and one person for $100. Come on, dude. It's pretty much free. It's pretty much free, dude.
Don't talk about it, be about it.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's do it.
I mean, $100. If you go anywhere to eat at a restaurant for dinner, it's $100. I don't care. No alcohol, nothing. It's $100. So spend $100 and feed your mind, man, with something that can make some money.
Well, that's the thing is I'm gonna bring down a couple of extra demo kits and stuff. I'll bring a little bit of extra supplies and stuff in case people want, like maybe we're short or something. We want everybody to walk away with a demo kit at least, because it's about doing it. It's about installing it. Once you do it, even with Ron's event, is you're going to feel more comfortable. Then you go do your first project. Maybe it's a relative's house. Maybe it's your own house. Like buy the supplies, do that. And then I don't know about you, but the first time I did landscape lighting was on my own house. You know what I mean? Like everything I try, it's on my own house. So it's like my house is like the little guinea pig, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I feel a lot more comfortable if I went to a training, then I applied that training without anybody's help and I did it on my own. And then I booked a job. How confident do you think I'm going to be at that job?
Yeah. Really well, it's hands-on, like actually installing a house. And then at the end, you get to see it and you get to see the whole process start to finish. Gives you a little bit more confidence than the classroom. You're still a little lacking confidence, in my opinion, of training. So we are having a permanent lighting hands-on training. We're installing all the commercial buildings here. So you'll be able to see it, get pictures of it and stuff like that. So that's cool. But I think,
what's the location?
This is in Houston. This is at the Kingdom Christmas Lights headquarters. So this is in Plantersville, Texas. It's in the Houston, Texas area. So if you're in the map dot, which is the very center of Houston, it's like an hour and 15-minute drive.
Okay. It's like northwest of Houston.
It's northwest, heading towards College Stations, northwest for sure. Yeah. And then this is where we operate our Christmas light business and do everything. This is where we have our little showroom and where we bring our employees and how we really conduct a 13 crew, 14 crew business is on this property. So not just the permanent lighting, you'll be able to see how we run Christmas lights. And to answer your question earlier, I mean, I know you had got into how do you start a Christmas light business? A lot of people, you want to think about the insurance and I need this and I need this. And you completely glaze over the most, in your face topic. I need customers. You need customers and get someone to say yes and give you money. Then you take that money, buy materials, and you perform the service. That is like numero uno. You need to get customers. So everyone has about 3 customers that they think they might be able to talk into permanent lighting. What I would do if I was you is I would talk them into the permanent lighting now. Bring those customers to the training. Murphy already said that if you bring me the house on the fly, I'll show you how to create the estimate. I'll show you how many materials you might need. So that way you can let the customer know it'll probably cost this amount of money. So bring those customers with you who you think would want this permanent lighting service. And we're going to help you get those first couple customers from from how much you need and how to estimate it. Right.
Oh yeah. That's the biggest thing is, you might do the training, but then even in the training, we design out like a house. We'll find houses like on Google Maps and we'll map it out. We'll be like, how would you run power? How would you go through this? What are the alternatives you can do to these things? And so it's these drills, these scenarios. So come definitely with your properties that you have, spec them out, make sure to try to get some measurements, take a bunch of pictures. You can never have too many pictures of properties.
True.
Like for real, like the color of the soffit under, like, do it. The gutter, do it. Do the downspout, do it. Where's the power source, do it. And it's like, we upload that into our CRM, right? And then it's just all right there.
I'm just laughing because, whenever you ask customers, say, I don't see a picture of your house. It must be a new house. Can you send me a picture of your house? Oh, yeah. And they send you a picture of like a quarter of the house and then a quarter of the house. Like, can you just back up to the neighbor's yard and just take a picture of the whole house? I don't care how far you zoom out. Show me a picture of the whole house and I can zoom it in and see these things.
I don't know. It's so funny because I know everybody can, like, any home service business that asks for photos from a client is like, I don't get it. I don't get, like, I want to be there when the photo happens. And like, how did you come to this?
How big is your house that it doesn't fit in the picture?
Well, that's the thing. Are they getting frustrated walking around like, this house is too dang big? I got to do a panoramic view. I don't know what to do. It's like, but it's like,
if I step out in the street, I might get hit by a car or something. Right. It's like, just look both ways and then take a picture, dude.
Well, but it's like you take the photo with your phone, and it's like if you ask somebody at on a destination, like a vacation, and you're like, hey, can you take a photo of us real quick? Could you imagine if they just took a picture of your feet or something like that?
I know.
And it's like, what the heck? This is not. what are you doing here? You know?
Oh, I got it. Like whenever someone asks me, like when I'm sitting, you know, I got long arms, so I do like a selfie of, you know, pretty much wherever I go, I can do a selfie if I wanted to of me and Laura, the family. But people always say, "Hey, do you want me to take that picture for you?" I always, you know, Laura always answers for me and says, "No, he's got it," because I'm like, you know, no, I don't need my picture fucked up. I'll just do it myself.
My go-go gadget arm is better than you standing away from me at any distance.
I know.
Photo.
100%.
It's like the Home Depot guy comes up to you and he's like, "Hey, you need any help?" And I'm like, "Not from you, dude." Like, sorry.
It's like letting someone borrow money. You already know that if things don't go right, it's going to cause a big problem between us. So
yeah,
I'm not letting you borrow money, and I'm not letting you take a picture of me.
Dang.
It's very similar in my opinion.
Can I borrow $5 and take a picture of you, Ron?
Yeah,
like,
no. No and no. Yeah. So let me take a picture myself. That way, if I don't like the picture, I can see it myself and I can take more or whatever. Just I don't want to get into it.
That's funny. So everybody who comes to the training, ask Ron to take a photo of you and somebody else at all times.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're gonna get a bunch of photos of your feet. I already know. Of course.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Jason Guyman, this is like a segment, right? Jason Guyman, I think is something good is we're going to maybe get something, because you and I are going to Utah after the training, 3 days after the training. We're going to Utah with Guyman. We're going to have a little meeting of the minds, and I was thinking of we're going to do a little old-fashioned Sylvester Stallone right here. Let's see.
The finalists, undefeated in 5 years, 5-time world champion, Paul Hurley.
Imagine it's like Guyman, like we're going to do some professional arm wrestling like Guyman. Then here comes.
And ladies and gentlemen, the sole remaining challenge will walk out of here with a World Cup, a $250,000 truck from the Volvo White Company, $100,000 in cash, and the title of Arm Wrestling World Champion.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we can get into like an arm wrestling thing. What do you think?
Don't let him psych you, Dad.
I think it's a
Remember what you
challenge.
told me. You can do it. I know you can, Dad.
Get in here. Come on. Grab the shoulder. Got no power, Hobbs. You got no power. Rubber down.
So what are we thinking about? Like maybe a little arm wrestling contest with me and Guyman.
Okay, but what do you get if you win?
Oh, bragging rights, dude. We're going live on this bad boy.
We're doing it live?
Oh, I'm kicking his ass in Utah live. Yeah.
It's got to be live, or else it could be faked. People say,
"Oh, dude, believe me, it's definitely live."
I'm gonna give you a world of hurt, little man.
And all I want to do is hurt him, cripple him, get him off the table, and so he never dares try to compete against me again.
So that would be fun. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't mentioned this to Guyman, just to be transparent.
He about to find out.
Yeah. F around, find out. You got these guns right here, baby, going down. So we'll see. Well, I'm sure we'll do something fun while we're in Utah with 3 social media content providers. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's the thing is you get a bunch of people that create content right now, and it's like something's going down here. You know what I mean?
It's just so funny thinking about that.
Are you gonna have any Christmas tattoos on your arms or anything?
No, besides the one tattoo I got a couple seasons ago. I'm done with tattoos. I got the one. I see that you've got a couple new ones, but no, I'm done with tattoos. I actually personally, one thing about me you may not know, I have 0 tattoos. I've never had a tattoos, and it has nothing to do with my phobia of needles. But I do have a phobia of needles, of drawing blood too. Just the topic of the conversation makes me all over.
It's more scraping. It's like scraping.
Yeah. So that's not my thing. Yeah.
It's not an injection like a.
Oh, you mean the tattoo? Yeah. You know what? I might get a tattoo one day. When I was 18, I was thinking of like, what do I want on my body for the rest of my life? And I was like, I don't know, like Playboy or something. I was thinking. This is like I was fucking 18, so I'm glad I didn't do it. But I was like, I don't know, I was like, I have no idea what I would even want for the rest of my life. Like that decision forever that I wanted. I just haven't really gave it much thought when I was younger. But I might get one day.
That's what everybody who says who doesn't have tattoos, like, I don't know what I would get. And like, it would just be like, and that's the thing is I have so many ideas of things in life that I want to get, like, almost as like but it's tattoo therapy. It is a form of like,
well, you're telling a story on your,
well, it's not just that, but even getting the tattoo is like, if you go through something that was either traumatic or inspiring, just something that moved you so much in your life. You know, sometimes you talk about people, and if you went up to people and you said, like, what are the top 3 things in your life that has happened to you that changed the way you look on life?
Yes.
Like, or give me one. Just give me one. It's like that right there in itself is a history. And I think getting that therapy of even creating a ceremony behind it is also
the tattoo.
Yeah, it's very therapeutic.
Really?
Yeah. I find it
they're license plates, in my opinion.
They're just bumper stickers on the bumper.
No. You know, this is there's certain tattoos that you can tell were done in a tattoo shop, and then there's certain tattoos that were done in places other than a professional tattoo shop,
at a high school party or something.
Yeah, prison or whatever. And so you can see someone's tattoos, and it tells you where they've been. It's like I seen some people who know about tattoos with others, and they see it and say, "Oh, you have tattoos," and then boom, they're like holding your arm and they're looking, and then it's like gang affiliations, or it's where you've been, or you seen this one that's picked with it's picked, and you're thinking, where have you been to get that? I mean, it really tells a lot about your life, these tattoos.
Yeah. Well, I think when people grab you and look at your tattoos, it's a form of artwork. Like, it's up to the perception of you. And then what I got it for may not be what you're thinking. You know what I mean? And so that's why when people are like, tell me about your tattoos, it's like, I don't, you can look at them and stuff, but I don't want to go down these rabbit holes of stuff.
Yeah. It's a conversation that I know what it is, and people who know me knows what it is, but it's not really front page news. I need to tell you what it means.
It isn't small talk at a cocktail bar.
Yeah. Or some fucking stranger grabbing my arm. It's like, dog, get off my arm before you see this tattoo on your eye. But that's how I think.
A raccoon tattoo.
Yeah, raccoon. Yeah.
Give you 2 black eyes.
You know what I'm saying? I told you twice. You hear me?
That's right.
Anyway, we got that derailed.
Yeah.
Jose, hey, this is your friend Ron from Kingdom. If you want to come to learn the permanent lighting, my friend, I got the big thing going on in Houston, Texas. My friend Joseph Murphy is going to be there. This is going to be the best permanent lighting training. I have 4 people that speak perfect Spanish. So everything that Joseph Murphy says, he's going to repeat it to you in Espanol, my friend. So come to my training. This is both English and Spanish. This means bilingual Espanol training for permanent lighting in Visilights next Friday and Saturday, my friend. Okay?
Are you going to have a translator there? It ain't.
Yeah, two people, 2 or 3 people that translate. Yeah.
Is there anybody there that just speaks exclusively Spanish that's coming to the training?
I got some that don't speak very good English. Yeah, I got some that speaks hardly any English. Yeah, the guys that work for me speak hardly any English.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna train up some of my workers, and then if you have a permanent lighting job that you want to sell, you can just pay my workers by the foot or whatever, some kind of charge, and you can buy the materials, and you can, use one of my workers and install the first couple of houses until you get your confidence up. So you just sell the job, and I can take care of everything under your company. So that'll be a good way to get started. Plus, I was thinking about doing commercials, since I'm gonna do a big commercial of the building getting done. At the end of it, I can put your photo that you were doing something and put your company logo. A lot of companies are doing that. So to help you advertise and get more business. So my focus is not just to teach you permanent lighting and say that, hey, it's available in this area. I want you to be successful, because if I just make $100, it's a waste of my time. I want you to come in, and I want you to be providing this service in this area. And the product that I'm pushing, which is Invisilights. So I want you to be having the Invisilights product in the Houston, Texas area, and I want it to be big. I want it to be like 10, 15 companies doing it. And most people, they ask me, they'll say, I know, but will I be taking your customer? I mean, that's like, when people buy from you, don't they say that, Joey?
Oh, yeah, but I think
in their mind, they think that I don't want to. I'm buying stuff from him.
You're
but
supporting an organization that is like going to take you over. I think there's a couple things with that.
Exactly.
The first one is when we first started that they would say it all the time. They'd be like, "What? You're an installer," and like, no, I'm not going to buy from you. Like, I get my stuff over here. Then, after a couple times of talking to them, be like, "Hey, like, I'm helping a lot of people all over the nation, and I'm willing to like help you. Let's just talk shop or whatever." They started to really understand that you're giving more of an educational piece to it. You're keeping up to date with product supplies. You're really acting like the vendor that they really want, and they're not getting. You know what I mean? Like, to be talked to a little bit more, and like I could show up to your place and we can talk shop for a little bit. Yeah, you can do that. You can pick my brain. You know what I mean? Not a lot of companies, like if you call another installation company and you just wanted to talk shop, they're kind of like, why are we meeting up? What's the purpose of this meetup? You know what I mean? Like,
then someone saying, Ron, I know that you have a Christmas light installation business, and so do I. So technically we're competition. Nothing you say will make me think that you have my best interest at heart. The words that you share with me and the advice that you give to me, something in my mind saying that I really think that you don't have my best interest in growing my business, because that would be detrimental to your business, right? Like, you're not going to really give me advice to grow my business super big when we're both operating in the same space. That doesn't make sense. And that was kind of what I was referring to. It's like, no, I mean, these kids, and Joey, I know you got a million stories, but I got this guy that just called me and he wants to wrap this tree. I've never done it before. And how do I even estimate it? How many strands of lights do I need? What should I charge him? What should I say? And that one, you give them sound advice, and then when they start coming back again, and then now they're doing a bunch of trees and they're buying a bunch of projects, or you probably help somebody with a huge project, which I know have firsthand information that you've done that, but you're helping the people out and they're growing their business, and then you're growing together. But it's hard for people to think that you really want their business to grow. And I'm telling them, look, dude, there's two different types of people who sell Christmas lights. It's people who have an installation experience and people who don't. And when you're looking for product, you're also looking for advice and recommendations and maybe installation best practices. And the people who don't have any experience, they stand out like a sore thumb. I hate talking to people who have no experience in the product that they're selling, but there's many companies out there that fits the description 100.
Yeah, no, I agree. Is it
right?
that mentality? Well, it's two people have to have the same mindset and mentality for that to even to happen, of like teaming up together, or like not seeing it as competition. So I guess it's, like I said, it's defining each company into like, well, if you're going to view it as competition, what kind of like, is it healthy competition? Is it team up and we ain't so competition? But I think the biggest thing is everybody wants to take market share, right? And how do you get market share? It's like, you don't share market share with others. Well, you could. That could change market share. Yeah. Like, what if Kingdom was up in DFW, and then Kingdom and Murphy just teamed up and had both resources and deploying them they're not one entity, they're separate entities, but we deployed them at the same time and worked well with each other. How much could we tackle together? Like that? Ooh, man, it's a lot.
Well, it's like, or, you're doing 40 houses and you're telling me that, somehow we're in competition with each other and I'm going to be stressed out about the fact that you did 40 houses. I mean, I could just drive down the road past 40 houses I know I didn't do. I'm not like, oh my God, was that Bill who did this? I mean, I don't give a shit about that. My company is maxed out. I mean, I'm doing as much as I possibly can. And to some of the questions that I tell people, or answer for people, it's like, dude, there's no way I can do it all. And I really do find genuine, heartfelt appreciation. And I just love to watch people succeed. I love to watch that kid he got $60,000-$70,000 cash at the end of the season. And then all of a sudden I'm looking on Facebook, and then homeboy's done proposed to his girl and bought her this big ring. And then they give you a shout out and say, man, just thank you so much for helping me. But these people actually become part of your like family, really Christmas family. And we all know the people who they're your friend about in October. Hey buddy, what's up? It's like,
early October's the best. Yeah.
I love you. You're my favorite person. It's like, what do you want, dude?
It's like you didn't respond to my last 12 DMs, but
Yeah.
I guess we're buddy right now.
You didn't sing me happy birthday like Murphy did.
Right?
Remember that?
Oh yeah, I do.
The best one ever.
Oh yeah, I got the whole. I probably have the video recording of that.
I do not. But
dude.
I do know that never in my life have I ever heard a happy birthday song like that Murphy participated in. It was the greatest happy birthday song ever.
I think Chelsea pushed it a little bit, you know.
Yeah, and just to give you a little backstory, it was 25 Christmas light installers from all over the country that we met up, and we were doing some shark fishing. And then so after we caught the shark, that the captain or whatever is like, well, you just bring the shark that I'm cutting up for you down to this local restaurant and we'll cook up the shark at $12 a person or whatever, something like that. So it's like, all right, that sounds cool. So we had all the shark there, and then must have been 30 of us in the whole restaurant. And then it was like, hey, let's start singing happy birthday. And then all of a sudden, every single person in the whole entire restaurant, I mean, no Milli Vanilli lip syncing, every single person in the whole restaurant at the top of their lungs singing happy birthday. Most people were like, who are we singing happy birthday to? But for the rest of this, it was like, but there was 30 people there that were singing at the top of the, I've never heard anything like that in my life, and I'll never forget that.
Well, I was glad I was part of it. You know?
Yeah. So now you can call me and ask for a favor, but if you weren't there at that restaurant, do not, no, I'm joking.
If you weren't part of Ron's birthday party,
don't ask for a favor in October is what I'm getting at.
Can I get a coupon code? No.
Yeah, exactly. No, that was a great experience, man. That was a great experience.
It was fun. Yeah.
When you're looking back on the good times, that was one.
That's right. Well, that's the thing is squeezing the best memories out of all the things in life. I try to focus on the positivity, especially in life or my business. Every day I try to wake up and I'm like, I'm going to have a good day. Let's fucking do this. But
is that how you wake up? Do you give yourself a talk in the mirror when you wake up, or how does that work?
No, not in the mirror.
No,
because that means I had to get out of the bed already.
Oh,
do you
hit the snooze button? You have alarm clock?
No, Chelsea wakes me up. I don't. She's got alarms, and they're.
When's the last time you set an alarm?
I actually set one for tomorrow.
You did? Because the only reason I say that is because I haven't set an alarm in 5 years. I mean, I think maybe I've said it one time when we're about to go to catch an airplane or something. But other than that, I've never set an alarm. Laura sets them, but
yeah,
I just wake up.
Well, it's a very big privilege to not set an alarm, to be just like even when you see that, is like most people got to get up to work, take their kids to school. Are you so exhausted where you can't get up early? And it's like when you don't set an alarm, many things are happening. So I feel very blessed to not set an alarm. But I'm setting an alarm tomorrow because Chelsea's not gonna be here, and I got to take the boys to school.
You have responsibilities.
I got responsibilities now, and most of the time she's taking them and stuff, and she's getting her day started way earlier than mine. But yeah, it's what was I talking about? We were talking about alarms.
David Goggins said, if you hit the snooze button, you start your day failing. Start your day missing the mark and failing. So when that button comes off, you turn it off and you get up. You don't start the day failing. You get up. Well, so I was like, I'd have to set one for you to do that.
You're like, step one, hit the snooze and get up. You're like,
yeah, three times.
I don't hit the snooze, dude. So can you like speak my language a bit? Okay. When you open your eyelids naturally.
Yeah.
Yes. Now you're going to give yourself words of affirmation or something to be able to be like, okay, I'm going to kill this workout. Let's go get my workout clothes on or something like that, right? Like get the day going, get it started. Don't doom scroll through your phone and all that other stuff. Is like creating those healthy habits. I think with this type of business, when I quit the fire department and then I did this business, I got off track just a little bit with those healthy habits, right? Yeah. If you're a business owner, entrepreneur, and it's like, what does that kind of look like? And it's like fast food, energy drinks, and like all this bad things you usually don't normally do, sleepless hours. And it's like, now it's like you build your business up to a point, you should start bringing it back, because I'm not going to tell you there's good balance in being an entrepreneur or anything like that. It's very hard. It's very tough. It's not for everybody. I wanted everybody to be like, you should start a business. I was like that at one point. And to be honest with you, I look at people and I'm like, you should not start a business. You should definitely work for somebody. And it's just because certain characteristics you have. What's going to make you happy is another thing. Sometimes people don't want to have the extra responsibilities to do that. To me, if I own my business, I'm setting alarms and stuff in the season, but the off season that we call an off season is I get to wake up naturally, and I don't get to set an alarm, which is success in my eyes a little bit.
The deliberation, deliberation. If you're working every single day, 9 to 5 or whatever, it's hard to really take time and just think about what you're doing and just really deliberate and think about your life and what direction you should go and what's going on. The Christmas business full time, as soon as your last light's taken down and you have everything organized, you can really think about what your life is going on, what's going on in your life, and what direction do you really want to go. But when you're in the middle of it, you're just every day is like, you have these responsibilities. But that's one of the best parts about it is after the season, you can really dissect what's good, especially because it's tax season, after Christmas. Yeah. But you can dissect what's working, what's not working, what effort was really fruitful for yourself and your family, what was a big waste of time, what practices that you did that worked and didn't work. And then you can really come up and devise a plan of action for the next year and say, next year, I think we should do it this way. I think I should offer this. And then you can implement this slowly and really carefully think about it. Because in season, those dominoes better be already fucking lined up. So you just knock the first one over and they start falling. And that's our business. And it's really hard to motivate yourself to think about Christmas lights in July or May or anytime. I mean, nobody cares about it. The customers don't care. The people who you sell to don't care. No one cares about Christmas lights. But there are a few people who make a tremendous amount of money and their bank account reminds them of the Christmas light business. Yeah. And that's what keeps you going.
Well, that's where in this business it is like so if you own a Christmas light business, like let's break it down real quick, is you're a seasonal entrepreneur. You're seasonal in the beginning. Seasonal income, but are you a seasonal entrepreneur? I would say in the beginning, because you can't focus on it year round. There's a lot to do, but if you don't have that many clients, you don't have to manage that many clients. You don't have to like create more quotes, do better routing. It's just smaller, right? And so you could have that's why a lot of times it's a side business or a side hustle for a business is Christmas lighting. But you got these guys doing it full time, Christmas lighting and full time landscaping. Very few people. Very few. I can only do have 2 or 3 people who do it. Oh, I can name that don't do pressure washing, that don't do anything. I can name over a dozen. But that's not a lot of people. That's not a lot. So you are into this space where, there's a company who does $60 million and they have 50 employees. And it's like, think about how big that is. And then the man hours that you're pushing on organizing your CRM or doing this or selling these products or doing is like, imagine having 50 of you doing that. How are you going to catch up to that company? And it's like, well, separate yourself. Okay. Well, how are you going to separate yourself? And you have to be able to do a lot of different things like a handyman. That's how I view it. I mean, I was hanging ceiling fans. I was doing anything to keep me up to be able to quit my job. Right. Yeah. And it's like, I would do fences. I would do whatever as almost like a handyman. And that's what was painted was like Murphy Christmas lighting. Well, we also have a handyman service on the side. Well, now you would say I would do almost anything. Almost anything. I'm not sliding down the pole and going to a fight in a fire. I'm not doing that anymore. No, I retired from that shit. Yeah, I hung that helmet up, but it was good. It was fun. But in the end is to provide for my family, even provide for the citizens and stuff like that. It's like you're doing customer service just in a different way. It's I still have that customer service side of me that I do want to please people, make people happy, help people. I like literally if somebody was like, hey, do you want to go do this and help somebody? A part of me wants to say yes at all times. Yeah. At all times, it's like I have to tell myself, no, like, oh, I got this going on. I can't do that. But like Chelsea even says, like, don't ever let that side of yourself get killed, by anything like the world or people or anything. Is like, if you have somebody, a person has fallen down or even holding a door for somebody, like I'm always that person where if you need a hand, I'm going to try. I want to help you. Yeah. Like,
If anybody needs help moving, Joseph has some trucks. He has some trailers. He would love to help you out.
Hey, one of our customers asked me that he's moving this past weekend, and I was like, man, my son's got baseball games. I'm like, I can't, and I wanted to. I really
you did. It sounds good.
It sounds good. No,
I believe everywhere. It's like,
hey, I was the firefighter paramedic dude. Okay.
Oh, okay. Then I
was posted on the block, running the streets.
I have pictures to prove this. I have receipts.
Yeah. Well, it's but yeah, so breaking it down of what a Christmas light business is. So then you're a serial entrepreneur, and what does an entrepreneur do? You're going to work an insane amount of hours. What is insane amount of hours? More than what you're doing at your current job, like times 2. Like I can't, I'm working 45 hours. Well, you're going to do 90. Like if you really want to like be successful in how many hours it's going to take to build, because that's the other thing. Once you get building, then it comes in a little bit better, like the leads and stuff through Google, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, well, if you build the platform, then things will become easier. So then you're going to have to put in a lot of hours to build that platform. From there is like, okay, I can meet up with people, I can get training, I can get supplies. You're listening to it right now. You're educating yourself. I'd say to become a professional, you have to have continued education. And with continued education, that's training. And you're going to have to kind of hit up people that are doing trainings and that are doing decent trainings at least, because there's a lot of them. And you walk away with something. Like what Ron says is you go to the Invisalights training, there's going to be content shooting there. He's going to have a picture of you installing the tracks on a building, and then he can throw in your logo and stuff like that. Like who's doing that?
Nobody.
Training? So out the gate, you're trained. We're going to help you map your existing customers or your own house. We have the supplies for you to do it. You're going to get a discount that day in training to buy those supplies. And then you're going to have a video that you can market to your current customers or post it online if you don't have any customers getting your feet off the ground. And then there's a digital brochure also that you can also print out with an about us on the backside. Like how much more resources and help can you get just walking away, not knowing anything about the product, to help set yourself up for success, to close some jobs, to push this products and everything else on your site? Like, I just don't know anywhere else that's doing it and cares so much about the people that are in their training than how you host and what Invisalights is trying to do. I don't know of a better place to go right now to get it jump started and be successful with it.
Well, I mean, like you need a mentor. It's like, I don't need you to talk to me for 3 hours and then I can figure all of life's problems out. It doesn't work like that. You're going to have questions tomorrow. You're going to have questions next week. You're going to have questions next month. You're going to get that first customer. You're going to get into a situation when you're installing. You're like, hey, I do remember you taught me something, but can you just go over it one more time? Having someone that's the continued education, like you were saying, but someone who can help you out, not like, dog, if you didn't learn it in the 4 hours we were talking, lose my number. I mean, that is not the training you need. You need someone who can help mentor you, but you're both doing business together. They're doing business with you and you're assisting them so they can continue doing more business with you. That is what you need. And that's what I think anyone who is an installer also, as well as a distributor or something like that. That's why you choose that person or a company or something that does that, because you need that engagement as you go along.
Yeah. That's where I was saying when people were buying supplies from us, I said, we just don't move boxes. Yeah. That's what I said to them, because I don't believe in that. I don't believe if I give you these ridge clips and these C9s that you're just going to be successful when you get up there. I just don't. Here's my number. I had a bunch of guys FaceTime me on projects, their own projects, but they bought supplies from us. And I was like, okay, well, check that inline right there. And then they checked it and I'm like, okay, take the inline apart. I want to look at it. And then I found out what the problem was. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But they're like, thank you so much for doing that. But where are you going to get customer support to that level?
No.
I don't see many people.
Sometimes not even from the actual company. And a bad example that I, maybe shouldn't, say right now, but it's like Twinkly Pro. Yeah. If you're selling Twinkly Pro and someone just buys the lights, but they don't buy the controller that they need, you see the order come in. Most people who don't know anything about the business said, "Oh, we have an order for this many lights and this," and you're like, "Hold on, I got to talk to this customer. Do you already have the power supply? Do you already have the power box? Do you already have all this stuff?" And you're like, "No, I didn't know I needed it." Okay, when you're doing a system, you need this, this, and this. Let me add this to the order. But somebody who works in the warehouse may not have any knowledge about that. Not that this happened with Twinkly, but it's just any kind of project that you're buying the bulbs, but do you know that you need socket wire too, and you need the male and females? Do you need all of these things? Having someone that can look at your order and say, hold on, you bought a reef, don't you need a bow? That's important because you need it.
Well, it's very spec-driven supplies, and you're going to apply this. And when the order comes through, I mean, we do the same thing. To give an example, like Twinkly is a good example of this because I truly believe that they have vendors that distribute their product, and then they don't have much of the customer support. So they say talk to your vendor, but then the vendor doesn't have things in place set up to really help you, because then they give you to somebody else who doesn't understand that product, and they don't install it. And that's where it kind of gets through the grapevine. It's like, I'm not getting helped. I don't have an answer.
Yeah. And there's 3 people in the country who know it well that would maybe answer your phone if you call it. I can think of 2 people I personally know. One's you, that I can call at any time and get a response of, here's what's going on with this particular RGB product that I don't really have a lot of knowledge on. And
well, that's what happened
that's
this past season. Was I got a call from somebody in Arizona. They're a landscaping company, very big, and then they did a city project or something, and they had, I guess, all their power supplies they said were bad. And I'm like, okay, you didn't buy this from us though, so where'd you buy it from? And then they told me, and it was a very large company. And I says, did you reach out to that company, and what did they say? Because I'm trying to recon this, right? Like I'm trying to figure out what's going on. If I pulled up your order and I was like, oh, this, I could figure it all out. But now you ordered from somebody else, but you're contacting me for product support, and I'm pulling energy out of my day in season.
Yeah, for nothing, really.
And I didn't get your order. You know what I mean? Like the company didn't make any money, and in Christmas time, it's very fast paced. Like I can't sit here for an hour when you're not my customer, right? And so, but I did anyways, because I find this to be where I am being a place that people go. This company does have a designated person that understands this product, but they're not getting their answer. They said it's under warranty. And I says, okay, that's fine, but I don't hold the warranty for your product because I didn't sell you the product. I can't do a product warranty exchange.
Yeah,
you know
I don't
mean?
run the warranty department for Twinkly. I mean, I can help you, but I don't run the warranty department.
So then I have to get in contact with Twinkly, the right people, to get the refund. And like, I'm really going to bat for you. This other company could have done it. They could have, but they're not doing it, and they're freaking out because they are telling the receptionist to talk to me. The receptionist doesn't know anything. So she's saying, the on-site supervisor is saying, I need 15 controllers. So I go over to my stock, I type in the inventory management system, and it says I have 15 exactly. And I was like, well, let me hard count this. This is too close, right? And so I go over there, we have exactly 15. I said, read me off the SKU. She reads me off the SKU. It's the exact match. And I was like, okay, I have these for you. Do you need any splitters? Because each controller can control up to 500 lights, 2 strands, 250. You need a splitter.
And then maybe the controllers too.
And then the extensions too. And I'm like, what does the project entail? I don't know what you need. And so this receptionist is like, I don't know what they need. I'm just, he whispered in my ear and I'm whispering to your ear. And it's like, well, can I get in contact with the ear whisperer guy? Yeah. So then
the ear whisperer.
And he's like, well, let me call him. And I said, stop with this ear whispering shit. Like, I need to talk to the main guy on site who understands the project. I need the project supervisor. Okay. So then he contacts me and he's like, no, man, just the power supplies all failed. I tested a good power supply and I went across and I'm like, okay, your controllers aren't bad. It's just the power supplies. Okay. The power supplies and the controllers come in a box. So I can't separate those. So you're going to buy the controller and the power supply. Okay. He's like, I don't care. Get them sent my way. I need this right now. The city is up my butt. You know what I mean? Like, they thanked me so much after that. And they're like, oh, I'm going to continue doing all business with you. It's because of how you handled the call, because you picked up the phone and it was that niche item. And it's like, how do you become an industry expert on a niche item? You got to do a bunch of niche items all the time with your company. And if you aren't doing those niche items, it's like, then, dimensional displays, how can you talk about anchoring if you don't really anchor? Like, honestly,
I will say we had a great experience with Twinkly last year. I finally figured out how it works and I made the install myself. I hooked it all up and the shit worked perfect. I was like, oh my God, I did it. But the previous years wasn't as successful in the first pencil, but I did it.
But that's how it's supposed to be. It's like, take it down, you put it back up, everything hooks back up together and remap.
In theory.
In theory. But that's how in our company it works, or maybe we got to hard reset a controller, but it's not bad.
Yeah, update them. You have to let them connect to the
Firmware.
internet and firmware update. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have two things. Not that I'm hosted, but
Go ahead, co-host.
you know. I always, I in the back of my mind, I've thought, because my time during the Christmas light installation season is so valuable. I always wonder, like, what would happen, like, if you had like someone who you really loved, a family member, like a death in the family or some really important emergency or non-emergency, but you really had to be there, a wedding or just whatever. How would you handle that if it required you to take some time off in the peak of the season? And I struggle with that one because I just think I wouldn't show up. I couldn't. I could take a whole month off with you right now because I don't have anything else to do. I could, prolong or push off things, but in season, I've already told my family, do not invite me to a thing. Yeah. Nothing. Don't invite me to your wedding. Don't invite me to your birthday party. Don't invite me to nothing if it's in the middle of this Christmas season. And God forbid if someone were to, I don't even want to speak it into existence, but would I be able to attend it if it was in season? I think the answer is no. That's a very complicated, touchy subject, and only a few people understand what I'm talking about. Well, what do you think? I know you understand.
Well, I don't think you know this, but Chelsea's grandfather, who she's very close to, passed away within the season. And this was a couple of years ago. And with that one, it's like, oh my gosh, it was a very close family member. Because that's the other thing. I think you got to really define and make these decisions ahead of time, this is a great discussion topic, because what are all the things that can derail you to have a successful season? It's like, if a loved one passes or a close relative passes, man, that's a thing that, you've got to be somewhere, but you also got to be over here, and it's a short window, and it's like, it's very bad timing. So I did go to Louisiana for the funeral.
Did? Wow.
I was texting even at the wake business, and I did not feel it. I didn't. Like, I felt like I should put my phone down. I felt like I should be talking, and all these people are grieving around me, and I'm over here like, hold on one sec, I got to give a quote.
Yeah.
But
one of my guys are at a job. I got to take this. Yeah.
It was like that. It's like, I may have to pick up the phone. You know what I mean? But it was Chelsea's grandfather. I knew him very well, and he spent a lot of time with him. But I was there mostly to support Chelsea and her family, through it all. Is like, I'm married into this family, so I'm not like anything I could do to help. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
I feel heartbroken about it. I do, because a lot of people I love, even her grandfather passing, it sucks. But I think that if something like that happens in season, if it's a very close person, you're going to stop what you're doing.
You think so?
Yeah, you're going to have your people, and you're going to say, I'm gone. Next 3 days, you guys got it. Handle it. You have to handle it right now. It's freaking go time. Handle it. I want to walk away from here, not get a fucking call. I want to come back. Because sometimes I had this dream actually for like a year, and it was about like, if something happened.
Yeah, hold on. You had a dream for a year?
Well, like, I had the same dream over and over very frequently for a whole year. And it was like, if something happened to me, like if I got hurt or something installing lights, is I would wake up and like, I'd be like, okay, I look at my body, I got my arms, my legs, I'm alive, like I'm not all messed up, I can think, I'm normal. I'm just
I'm fine.
Hurt, broken bone or something. And then I would wake up and I'm like, what day is it? And if they said something like December 15th, and it was November when I went down.
That's the nightmare.
The thing is did it all get done?
Yeah.
Because you put so much into this all year long. You're talking 9 months of work, day in, day out, 10 hours a day, trying to get this thing set up to not fail. And then you are the person who is like moving all the levers and everything, and your business relies on you. It does. And can you step away for a second to go to a funeral? Or can you step away and be injured? Can you be hurt? Like, what if you did twist your ankle or hurt your hand or broke your hand, and you couldn't really do as much as you do in your business?
I'd be fine if it was an injury to me, because I don't actually install the lights. As long as I can talk on the phone, I could probably do it in a wheel. I don't want to speak it in existence, but I could do it in a wheelchair or whatever. I could still operate my business, whatever. I have a lot of stuff in my head. It's not into
So
it.
even if a loved one passed, though, couldn't you do it remotely for just?
I know my mom was like, Ronnie, she
calls you Lil Ronnie.
Ronnie, you were doing a Thanksgiving at Myrtle Beach, and so we're getting there on the 26th or some shit. 3 days before, and then we're gonna stay the whole week, and you should, don't you have someone to run the business for you? And I'm like, you have no idea what I do for a living. The answer is not no, but hell no. And a matter of fact is, I don't want to insult you, but I obviously haven't explained to you what I do. There's no way I can do anything remotely close to that in season ever. Never.
Yeah, it does.
No offense.
Well, that's the thing is a lot of people, it happens every year. Chelsea will go somewhere. Gracie, our warehouse girl, she went to a wedding and she's like, I need these 3 days off. I'm like, this is the worst 3 days off. Like, who schedules weddings around this time? Yeah. And it's like, but people do, and people need time off. And I think you could step away with how your business is set up. No.
You
could step away for a day or two.
Let me paint a picture. Give me the paintbrush. Give me the paintbrush. I'm going to paint. I have read on my desk because I'm always like teacher on people that work for me as notes. But so I don't have $700,000 to buy materials with, and then I'm playing with house money. It's already paid. Most all the materials that I buy are financed. And just to paint a picture and give you a brief window into what my life looks like, it's November 15th. I still owe, and a lot of people, their numbers are bigger, but I still owe $180,000 before I even get to the black, get out of the red, get to the black, before I even try to make enough money where I don't need to work all year until next Christmas. But I'm still $180,000 upside down before I get to black. And it's like November 15th or something. And you're like, guys, we need to start doing $30,000, $40,000 a day. We need to be doing $20,000, $30,000 a day. And so I can get to this mark. If I don't hit this mark, my life, the way that I live my life right now, and how joyous and gracious and how awesome I think my life is and how much I love my life, that's all going to be in the past tense if I don't execute in the next 2.5 weeks. I have to get to that mark plus another $300,000. I have to, because you still got to take the lights down. You still haven't even got to the point where you can pay for the materials that you bought. And this is the stress that you're under. Are you going to take a fucking day off? No, I don't care what it is. There's no way that I'm going to anything. My daughter got married, and she was asking me what day she'd get married. She want to get married in November. I said the earliest I would even think about considering going to the wedding is December 12th. And that's why her birthday, they got married on December 12th, because things do slow down in December where you can kind of manage it from the phone. I mean, things are happening, but they're not happening like that. You can trust someone to run it. You can run it. But October is such a crucial month. You got to be going 100%. November is really a month of execution. Plus, there's a lot of good stuff coming in, like life-changing projects that will advance the next 3 years of your life. If you get them successfully, or if you miss them, you're not going to know what you missed. But that's the business that we're in. I don't know that I could do anything. I think about that a lot. If something detrimental were to happen, I wouldn't be there.
But this is good. I mean, I don't think this gets talked
about. Am I right?
I don't think this gets talked about at all. And like, I'm having dreams about this stuff. You're having this is like a fear that you have, right? And it's like, well, so what would it take then for you to be able to take 1 to 2 days off to even be allowed? Because you say you're doing a lot of stuff remotely.
No, dude, I'm at fucking war, bro. I'm deployed off in a whole other country, dog. Okay.
I'm saying a loved one passes that's very close to you.
Yeah.
Let's say it's in October. Could you take 1 or 2 days?
I wouldn't. I'll say I'll show up to the grave site and we'll do a special ceremony or whatever in February.
You're going to deliver some flowers in February? Ron, this is a close loved one.
Yeah, I know. And it's unfortunate, man. But I don't want to stew on it too much. But seriously, there's just no way I can do it. I'm sorry. That's the life I live. I'm literally deployed off into battle. And I'm like if you're a military spouse and your spouse is over in Afghanistan fighting or something, they're not coming home for birthday parties and stuff like that. I'm literally not there. I am hyper focused on this for this short amount of time. And that's the life that I live. And that's the sacrifice you have to make. And the more that you understand this business and you get into this business where it's your only source of income, there is no other income, just this, you have to just shut off massive areas of your life. And that's why when you and we have had many different topics and conversations, discussions, I would say, about you love Christmas, right? And then after you do these commitments where you're not going places for Thanksgiving, you're not enjoying all these things, you're working your ass off. In the harvest, it really does chip away at your love for Christmas to the point you just want it to be over. So this work and this responsibility is over and you can be you again and not the person who's running this huge ass company. But that's the reality of what you get when you get to a certain level.
Yeah, I think.
Am I right?
Well, like when you get to a certain level, you're saying like basically it's very difficult with the time thing. And the more time you put in, like you're going to capitalize on this. Like you said, those dominoes, and you push that domino. But even while you push that domino, it's not just sit back and watch all the dominoes fall.
No,
it's not that way. And so you have to pull a bunch of levers. Like once you push that domino, that's where you get to be like this. You're like doing this all the time. And it's like, well, why aren't all those levers have to be pulled that way? Because you got new leads coming in, because we got new projects that need prepping, because we got, right? It's like this new stuff, the established stuff is taken care of. It's all the like existing stuff, the maintenances, the projects that are ongoing, and it gets a lot busier. So get
busy. Yeah, a lot busier.
A lot busier. So it's like, well, so then you change as a person, and you're like, I want to go back to the like who I am, and it's like, so do you just see like red, like, or is it green? Right? It's like, do you just see? And you just go Hulk mode, and it's like, get these projects, get this money. This is how I feed my family, and I'm not going to stop. There's nothing that's going to stop me and get in my way. And it's like, there's one fear that if somebody that was a loved one that passed by you, it's like, that's a hard decision now. Because now you have that mindset where you're like waking up and you're getting it. You're sleeping 4 hours. I don't care. Get a protein bar, energy drink, let's roll.
The whole time you're sleeping, you're working deals, or you're working inventory, or, Laura, my wife, Laura's like sitting in bed and she's like, okay, I have like sleeping and talking. I have that box and I'm going to get that out to Wilmer when he gets here. And I'm going to get that. Like, this is like, you're sleeping with this. I mean, it never leaves your mind, even in sleeping or anything. It never leaves your mind. You're 100% permeating into your body.
Well, I don't think you're getting like REM sleep, like where you start dreaming. I don't dream or anything like that in Christmas light season. I don't sleep that deep. And I do the same thing. It's like, I'm actually like half asleep, and I'm literally like running my day through my head while I'm half asleep. And like the same thing, like I got to get that product, and like I'm mouthing it. And it's like, but you're not in deep sleep at all.
You're still working.
You're still working, and it's
with your eyes closed and your brain is not turning off.
It's not. Like, but how do you get it to where it's healthy? Like Chelsea was working out, and I would be like, "Why are you working out right now? Like, we need to get the cruise out, get this." And it's like, I gave her that space to give a little bit of balance to herself in the season, and I thought it was a lot healthier for her. To me, I didn't work out at all, and I was like, "Let me do some push-ups and stuff like that," but like, I'm not going to the gym. I'm going to the warehouse, and we're going to get these orders together. Like, I'll be at the warehouse at 2 a.m. pulling orders for the next day. Because when I come in, I know there's going to be like 50 orders that I got to pull, just even for distribution. I don't want to get in there and be stressed out. I want to like sip my coffee and like, I got 5 hours of sleep. Who cares?
I don't want 6 trucks sitting out in front going, as soon as you're done pulling that order, I need to talk to you about my order. I want that shit already done. Boom, boom, boom. Get out of my face. Let's move on to the next thing. I mean, you want to be prepared. But it's
how do you get that balance?
There is no balance. You
cannot achieve ultimate balance status in Christmas life.
No, the balance is, do you really want to pick up that auger and build a fence in the springtime because you want to screw off today and have a balance? Do you really want to do that? Do you want to go out there with the fucking pressure washer and fucking knock on people's doors like you used to for $200 pressure washing and go do 5 houses a day on the summertime? Or do you want to take it seriously right now and you don't have to do none of that? That's the balance. and you say, yeah, I'm going to commit these 3 months, and then I'm going to take off. We're still working, but we're not working like that. And then I have like 6 months that I get to kind of screw off and work on my property and hang out with the family and attend whatever. But you have like 2 months, you can't do any of that. And that's the balance. There's not having a healthy balance in season. That's not a thing.
So it's,
in my opinion.
Well, you're tipping the scales, but the scales are actually balanced because you don't have to do other stuff later. It's like grind right now. And then to me is I've heard a lot of stories about people that have businesses, Christmas lighting businesses, and then they end up compromising, being a father or a husband or something, and they end up getting divorces because of this business or something like that. Yeah. I think it's just like with other industries is like, well, what, military, even firefighting, it's a high divorce rate. You know what I mean? And there's certain reasons why that is. So I guess there is no good balance.
Well, if you and your wife work together, it's different. If you're on deadly catch and you go off to the Bering Sea for 3 months, you're gone. And then Sancho, like, hey, let me hang out with your wife while you're gone. But if you're both working together, pulling the yoke together, there's no better thing than a power couple that both of you are experiencing the same thing. That is the best, I think, that keeps our marriage
like you
together.
said, is like you're going to war, but then you're going to war with your spouse, your friend, everything. And then when you're able to accomplish things within that war, and I guess it's like a testament to your fortitude a little bit. You know what I mean? And
we will return victorious. Yeah.
And then you're high-fiving Laura over there. You're like, whoosh.
Yeah. We can go wherever you want, boo. We can go to Hawaii. We can do any damn thing you want. We can buy anything you want. There is no concerns of any of that.
So when you book a project,
is when you focus.
So when you book a project, is that kind of what you say to each other? You're like, oh, there goes our Bali trip. It's like,
no, I think that's a big mistake people do is start counting their money, because you're going to count to a number and you're going to say, I'm good, I don't need to work anymore. It has nothing to do with the money part, even though it has everything to do with it. You can't say, oh, I have $100,000 in my bank account, so therefore I'm good. Let's just screw off the rest of the Christmas. It has nothing to do with that. I do as much as I possibly can every second of the day. And at the end of the season, it's going to make total sense. But you can't be a bank account starer, because that makes you lazy. Yeah.
Seems like when you go to war, you're like a killer, dude. You're just like, I'm gonna get all these monies. I ain't gonna stop till the monies stop coming in.
It's hyper focused. The focused, hyper focused. If you're in not that I don't want to bring up another military, even though it fits perfectly here, but if you're in a military scene and it's like, hey guys, pop, 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 pop. Oh shit! Bullets are flying over my head, and then you're down in the trench, and you're like, okay, all right, we're going to flank over to the right, and then we're going to go over here. We're going to do this. You're like, okay. So then you go do it. You're not thinking, well, what are we having for lunch? Let's talk about that. Like, that's just like not even fucking registering in my mind of what are we having for lunch, and I wonder when Johnny's birthday. Like none of that even registers because you're hyper focused on it. And that is something that the reason why many people don't, aren't very successful in this business is because they can't hyper focus on anything. They have too much shit going on. That's distractions.
Yeah. It reminds
right?
me, well, like,
right.
You say that. And then I remember like just some military movies where they're going to do that. And then they're in the trenches, but then there's that one dude who isn't that, but he's a veteran, and he goes there and he's like, hey, Jimmy, give me some of that chocolate right now. And you're like, what? We got to flank these people. We're getting shot at. And you're like, hey, give me a piece of maybe the last piece of chocolate I ever eat. Come on, give me the piece of And it's like he's not focused, but he is more of the relaxed to be like, if this is my last, I want that chocolate. It's like, then I think that's where in firefighting and paramedic, that's what happened with fight or flight, is that once you get enough reps under you, I feel like that's the way with the season with Christmas lighting too, is that you get enough reps under you, or you respond to enough traumatic situations, scenarios, you are a little more calmer. You understand that you're not stressing about the bullets that are flying over your head because you know that they're not a factor at all because you're down here, and you don't even worry of what's going on above you. And so you're more worried about the chocolate than the flying bullets that aren't going to hit you, and it's like, so with the season though, is I remember people telling me is like, there would be a stressful event within the company. Like something happens, like
You putting up customers' lights that they already own from someone else. It's like,
yeah, like
what? Wait, what?
Yeah, that's a bad one.
What did we do?
But it's like, even if that happened,
Well, you weren't here, Joey. I thought we would take that job, and it's like,
I'd be like, that's dumb. I'd be like, that's dumb. Go do the other house. What is for lunch? Is what I would respond to that. Like, I've seen this song and dance 20 times. We have CRMs that march waypoints. I don't know why they're not using their phones. I don't care. Go do the project. And it's down here on problems, right? But at the same time, I am like, okay, now that they're gone, what's for lunch, right? And so I feel like with a couple seasons under your belt, you get a little acclimated to it.
Sure.
You understand how much stress is going to be there, and so therefore when you can maybe take a second for yourself, or maybe when you can, because you're working not 8 to 5. It is almost 24. Like, we're even saying you're working in your sleep. It is working 24/7. But then there is moments in the day where you're going to sit there for a second and you're like, I'm not going to work. And it may be 30 seconds and maybe 5 minutes, but I probably do that probably a dozen times throughout the day where I'm going to sit and look at, social media for just 5 minutes and not think about a dang thing. Chelsea's like, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing. She's like, I see you're looking at your phone. And I'm like, this right here is cobwebs. Okay. I'm literally resetting. I'm not going to do anything. And I'm going to focus on just whatever it is, whether it's eating a sandwich. I'm going to eat a sandwich and stare at the sun. I don't care.
Oh yeah.
This is my time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, Laura's the most loving and nurturing person that you've ever met. She's just the best human being I've ever met. But she wants to make sure the kids are taken care of. She wants to make sure there's dinner for the children. She wants to make sure that we have a healthy balance. No, I'm not talking about blame. It's just these are the things that are important to her, and they should be important to me, but they're really important to her. So indirectly, they're important to me. That's what a relationship's all about. So, she wants the house to be clean. We don't want to live in a damn pigsty, even though we're busy. So I'm like, okay. So what I'll do is I'm going to, she pre-does all the meals. So when, in August and stuff, she cooks 2 dinners and then puts one in the freezer, meal planning for in season when we don't have time. And then I'll have a maid service that cleans up our house twice a week. So the house is immaculate, like she likes it, but she don't have to do it. I'll have an assistant, and all this assistant does is just help out with the stuff that we should be doing. Like, I'm sitting at the computer working. Hey, go to the store and go get some food for us, or go do the, whatever. So we don't miss those responsibilities that are important to her. But I've already thought about this in advance, that I have all these things done so she can confidently focus on Christmas lights. And another one, the last one that I'll share with you is, like, we homeschool the children. And I know you do as well. But we homeschool the children, so they are in school all summer. When all the other kids are, screwing off and doing whatever, we're doing homeschool all summer. And then when the season starts, that is their summer break where they can come help us out, and they don't have school. So they'll be finished this year, I think July the end of July, maybe, if we're on schedule for. But when it comes to, we'll keep on doing school, whatever grade it is, and we won't stop until like maybe September 1st. That's when school starts and we go to work. But our whole family, or my whole entire life, has been moved around this responsibility and this lifestyle. And I love it, but it's definitely a little culture shock if you're not used to it.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at how people live their current lives, and it's like you're listening to Ron, and how, like, the thing is you have to change your life and you have to adjust your life. And to be honest with you, we're not setting alarm clocks in the off season. You know what I mean?
No.
We get to sit down and think a lot about what we're going to do to pull. And a lot of thought process goes into what we do during the season. But then what's important to you, we hired a maid to take care of, like, a lot of the stuff that I don't want to be vacuuming my floors or mopping my floors or doing any of that in my house. I don't want to do any of that. In season, I just wanted to be taken care of.
Yeah.
And so you buy other people's services to offload stuff that you need it taken care of in season. And you start building this life around you to make it as less stressful as possible, to really set yourself up for success. And I think if somebody's going from a regular job to going into, like, oh, well, why would we want to homeschool our kids? Like, our kids are in public school or maybe private school. And it's like, private, again, there's many different ways, because I've done all the different types of education. I can, like, seriously.
Yeah.
Private school,
master
classes, Sylvan, public school, private school, specialty programs, hand therapy, like everything, right? And what we come to find out is the one-on-one learning is definitely the best, whether it's with us or with another person. Large class sizes, It's just not the way the world works anymore.
No.
You could find things. Homeschooling is very difficult because I'm a very impatient person. So a lot of times when my kids aren't getting something, I get very frustrated.
Yeah.
So it teaches me to be a little more calm, but at the same time, do they view me as a teacher or do they view me as just as their father, which can be a mentor, a teacher, but you also are blood, right? So a lot of times it's like, you're my dad. Do I really have to, can I compromise with you a little bit on this? With the teacher, you can't compromise. So, hey,
well, I think it's the opposite.
What you think? That's
Laura's the Sunday school teacher. She does like Bible study with them in the morning.
She's got a hickory switch and everything.
But when they start like acting up, they're going to send them to the principal's office, aka my office, and that's where
yeah.
If it ever gets it's just that's who I am. I'm a no nonsense type of person. She's the most sweet and loving person in the world, But if I hear some nonsense and they're disrespecting her, then I'm gonna address that shit right away. And then this principal whip your ass. Not that it has to get to that, but if the situation called for it, that's certainly what would happen.
I think that homeschooling.
Right.
Well, I'm very big on if you can do it, homeschooling. I know a bunch of people that do it that are in the lighting business. It works really well for them. I think it gives your kids a different perspective of different type of teaching things. But at the same time, we were talking about how to build this life around yourself and the different things that you have to do with it. And I think that for people to even transition to get there, it's not a 1 or 2 year holiday lighting thing. Like this is, if somebody's already there, they've done many years of building their business to be able to get their family in a situation that's like this to even be there. So like year one, are you going to just get this business and then like you're going to be super successful and you're going to have to put your kids in homeschool and like I don't think it's a 1 year thing.
No,
I don't, unless you got an existing business that's already like maybe you're doing pressure washing or something and you're kind of on the edge about it and this just tipped you over on it. But I think it's a very difficult thing to do to manage. Then the way your life works is a little bit different. And then, like you said, is what are you taking away from yourself? You are taking away your holidays a little bit.
100%. I mean, it does slow down December 15th or so.
But are you getting Thanksgiving, truly getting Thanksgiving?
No. Laura's birthday is right there in October 18th, and Levi's birthday is in the end of November, which sometimes falls on Thanksgiving and sometimes doesn't. And I feel sad for both of them because they get an abbreviated version of what I really would do. So that's why we went to Hawaii, but we didn't go until February after the season, just because we could not do that for her 50th birthay. We just could not. We did Hawaii.
My birthday is November 19th, and
dude, you're done, dude.
I told Chelsea maybe because she'll go out of her way. She's like, I booked a hotel for us. We're gonna eat dinner, and I'm like, while I'm there, I'm like on my phone, and I'm not in this. You know what I mean? And it's like I know it's my birthday day, but maybe can we do like your half birthday?
Like at school, it's your half birthday.
Yeah. And then it's like, well, when is that? And it's like, okay, what would that be?
In the springtime, yeah.
What would it be? Would it be May or June? It would be May.
Yeah, I celebrate the day I was, conceived, not the day I was born. Yes,
that's Valentine's Day. That's Valentine's Day, dude. Like I'm screwed again.
Yeah, there you go.
Like the stars and the horoscopes just don't align with me with the Christmas light business, man.
But I think when it comes to training, I will say this.
I think it's a value proposition. And if we're talking about a book and the book costs $500 for a book and you're thinking, what the hell book are you buying? You're saying, is it worth it? And it's like, I don't think the book is worth it. I think I'm worth it. I spend that money because I think I'm worth it and what's going to, I'm going to get from this training. And I think a lot of that when people go to training, they're training it because they see their personal value of how much their personal value is. That's why they pay that money because they think they're worth it for the training.
I like that perspective because every time I buy into a training, I automatically think I'm going to spend this and I'm going to flip it into this.
Yes.
I think of that every time. So when people are like, well, it costs, $500 for a training or something. It's like at that training, are you going to take that and flip it for more money? Because the free training, sometimes you can get some stuff out of there and flip it.
Yeah, 100%.
But for the most part, if it's a paid training with like paid food, paid everything, it's like those are kind of trying to be orchestrated more to where you're going to get more value out of it. That's how I feel. Like if a pop-up training or whatever, it's like it was free. What's the worst? I'm never going to be dissatisfied with a free training. It was free.
Well, I'm wasting your time is another value of I value my time. I'm not going to waste it on some bullshit training.
Right.
But if I think a training is really, really good, I think the value of me learning this stuff, I believe the training's worth it because of the personal value of my time. And then also it's like that when you're talking about there in season, it's just like how much your value of your time is in season, versus out of season. I mean, it's a huge talking point. Speaking of which,
that's the thing is I try to. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I was just showing a picture as you were talking. Permanent lighting and landscape lighting. This is an Invisalights picture I stole off the internet. Here's another one. Permanent lighting, February 13th, which is not the one. That was one I made earlier. It's actually May 2nd and May 3rd. Permanent lighting, Houston, Texas. Permanent lighting. These are little slicks I've made over the course of putting this training together. And I'll tell you what, if you're thinking about training, I think this is probably the most important part. And if I was going to make a clip of this video, I'd start right here. Is permanent lighting. I have done Christmas lighting. I've done Christmas lighting for a long time. I've done hiring crews and having customers call me and sending the estimates and getting them to say yes and then scheduling the jobs like many people have. And then you have your guys doing, and mass volumes of houses, like 400 or 500 at least every year. So I've done that. But when you're thinking about permanent lighting, there's more questions than what's the best C9 bulb and what socket wire should I buy. Permanent lighting is a whole nother monster that I'm tackling myself. And I know you're probably thinking about it if you're not into it, or if you're just kind of barely toe tapping, what is the best company that, offers permanent lighting? What's the difference in the different products? Or I'm going to do permanent lighting. What lasts longer? Or how do I sell that in comparison to Christmas lights? What's my pitch? And many people ask this question and no one has an answer for it, is what's my terms and conditions that I should tell customers, these kind of things that could happen I'm not responsible for or whatever. Like, what is that? Those are the kind of things before you get into permanent lighting, you're like, I already have a successful business. Before I get into it, I like to know these inches. And I've been studying this for the last like 4 or 5 months of the different companies and the different everything. I've landed on Invisalights, but how did I get there? And what is the difference between those? That's what I'd love for you to clarify.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think.
Right.
There's one thing is it's a booming skill to add to your business. Okay. So you can add it. I think there is full-time companies that are actually just doing permanent lighting alone. So I don't want to say like it's an add-on, just like with Christmas lighting, regular seasonal stuff is people do it year round. Landscape lighting, people do it year round. Like you can make these things.
Can totally see doing this during Christmas instead of Christmas lights.
There's people that do it.
Oh, but I'm saying the phone's got to be ringing off the hook for permanent lighting in season. Got to be. Got to be. Yeah.
And so the margins are higher. And so if you're, let me go do this seasonal install, reoccurring revenue, but then you're going to do this permanent lighting and it's like 3 times the revenue. And
you ain't got to take it down.
It's like, this is a thing that has enough money in it to where it can pull you a little bit away from residential installs that are moderate to small residentials. If you're in that game, permanent lighting could definitely pull you off of some of those if you got like a couple jobs like that, and you can actually make just as much money as a seasonal day. But if you got like large scale commercial, permanent
lighting,
no, just with seasonal stuff. I'm saying like what would pull you from the seasonal stuff is like to be able to go do, if you have a city and it's, $100,000 or something like that, it's very hard to do permanent lighting jobs in season and not go do that $100,000 job. That's what I'm saying is like, because that $100,000 job, you can't. How much permanent lighting would you have to install and not do that $100,000 job? It's a lot of permanent lighting to just hit that. So I think with what separates Invisalights is number one is the each one of these lights has where you can just buy the lights mostly, or you get into a program. We do have our own program, but what comes with that program? To me, that right there is what separates somebody being like super serious about it and moving a lot of weight, because there is like Zooms, there's Google Meets weekly, there's a whole Facebook page that has just for these people that are invested into this and engagement. So it goes into what makes you a professional is that continued education. We do have that within Vislights. If you become part of the program, we also have like where there's a video library that has like how to cut every channel, how to power inject. Like there's a real video, real time of somebody doing this and showing it to you. So that way, if you need to hire somebody for your team, they didn't go to the training. You're like, watch these 10 videos. These are the most important. Then you can be on site with these other guys that are installing and learn as you go. But you need to watch these 10 videos. So we even have that. We have brochures, digital brochures that you could print off. The other thing is the biggest thing about the system. So this what really separates Invisalights from other people is with the system is the configuration side. It's very, very low. So like we talked about Twinkly Pro, the reason why Twinkly became so big when it did was because of how you map the lights. Is you need this fast program. You could just do it with on your phone and it'll capture
on your iPhone.
On your iPhone.
Not on your
I think they may have fixed the Android issue. I think they may. I haven't checked up on it, but
it's an iOS. I mean,
but mainly it's iOS. Yeah,
I have an iPhone, and this is a phone that always has service, and it's only for Twinkly and my drone that only can be used with an iPhone. That's the only reason I have this phone. I never use it. Only those two reasons.
You're like, where's my Twinkly drone phone? It's like. I guess more money, more problems. You know what I mean? So what that is, though, is
exactly
the Twinkly is the configuration side. So the hardest thing about RGB is to configure. So configure config. People abbreviate it. The configuration side of it is you have to tell the lights basically like I'm this chipset, I'm RGB or BRG, the color spectrum that it's on, how many lights there is. How you're splitting up that load out of each port. Like you have to really plug in this information or else the lights ain't going to do what you want to do. It's basically telling a brain to be a brain. And this is when I want to do this effect, I want it to look like this effect. So that configuration side, a lot of it went down without Twinkly. Now they have where it can auto detect the port. So now you don't even have to put in the amount of lights or what controller you have. Like it automatically knows how many lights are on each port. It auto detects it. And then now all you have to do is map. And so the configuration goes way, way down to where you can add it to your business as an RGB thing. And it's not like a light show that you tune into. That's way, way bigger. And so then permanent lighting is like, how do you get seasonal guys to do something that is like power injection? You need to know a little bit more. It is LED, but why are we power injecting? I don't have to do this with my regular Christmas lights. They're LEDs, but why do I have to do it with this? And it's like, there is some things that you need to learn along the way with it. But for the most part, the Invisalight system we've simplified it down like things like Twinkly, where the configuration is so low that you can actually automate it in your business and you can install it. And how fast can I get this thing fired up? Even our demo kits are literally a box with a regular power input. I forgot what it's just one of those little round diameter plugs that you put in the bottom of like a laptop or something. You know what I mean? It's not that big, but a little bit smaller. And it has a 24-volt power supply, and you just plug it straight into the controller. You're ready to go. There's other systems where it's like 10 different things you need to do to set up your demo kit. Like it was like an IKEA thing or like Hobby Lobby. I'm going to build this rocket and you got to glue it all together. No, we even have our QR codes on our demo kits for the app where you just scan it and it pops open and you download the app and it's Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. You don't even have to hook up to the customer's Wi-Fi. It's Bluetooth, boom, here, play with it. It's ready to go. There's one for Android and with iOS, so you can do either one. It ain't even like Twinkly, right? And so you can quickly get this to this customer, do a demo kit, do your bid, get it on the house. They can control it and play with it. They have 75 presets. You can instantaneously control. And then from there, you can even like make it custom there. And you can also do it to music. Like it could be ambient music. You can hook it up with your Twinkly Pro even and have ambient music that's recording on both sides and they're both bumping. So you got your trees going, you got your roof line going. It's a beautiful thing. And it's like, really, you only need 1 day training to do this. You need 2 days training to be super comfortable and confident with this stuff. And then that's what we're doing in Houston at your location is that great product, low configuration, easy usability. Let's make some money with this product. This isn't a product that's like going to be like, you know, like light show stuff. I did that before. And it's like, you're not going to X Lights. It's not this thing that's going to dedicate so much of your time. When you do a seasonal Christmas light display and you do a house in and out in an hour is like what you tell yourself. Well, with the permanent lighting, you got to like cut tracks and do all that. There's a reason why it's so much more money. You're going to be on site for a lot longer, but I don't want to be on site configuring for a long time. And I don't want my customer getting confused with the configuration or messing up the configuration.
Or wondering like, why is it taking him so long? Do you sure he knows what he's doing? You're like, no. I just gotta, my phone this for that reason.
So you do want a plug and play system that's a true plug and play system. And that's what Invisalights does. Just like Twinkly Pro does the same thing. That's why you can get it up and running, get some cool stuff happening, and get out of there. That's what's going to be able to be monetized in a business. When you have these light show companies, they're spending all year long building out these light shows, like the sequencing and all that kind of stuff. Controllers, building the control, like all year goes into this big, huge preparation thing. You're not going to be able to do that in season. It doesn't exist. You can't monetize. You can't make money with it unless you do it in like a drive-through or like amusement park. Things like that will generate a lot of money with light show stuff. But for this stuff is like you can literally do the Invisalights on the house, and then you get carolers coming up to your house, and you just hit the music button and put it on your mic, and your whole house is bumping to the carolers that are in your front yard or whatever.
Bumping.
Like, that is awesome. And you can do that really quickly. You can't do that with light show stuff, and you can't make money with light show stuff on residential properties like that. It just doesn't exist. That's what I believe. I love to get some comments going. I love to get people engaged on this because I've lived and breathed it, and this is just what I'm seeing. So if you see something different, definitely tell us your story. But,
so it's not a client that you install, and a lot of Christmas light installers like, if I put permanent lighting on there, I'm losing this customer. It's actually savage. And it's like, no, if they allow you to put permanent lighting on their house, then they were going to do it with someone else if you didn't have something put together. You talked them into something they were already going to do. You're keeping that customer, and then you could also sell them other stuff that will go with it in the future.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Talking about like adding that different stuff, and what you want to look at with other systems too is the controller. So like even with landscape lighting, it's the transformer. That's what they call it. It's essentially doing the same thing, but
that's the box that you put those wires and you kind of bury them in the ground and clip to them. Yeah.
It's a controller, right? But it's a transformer. It reduces power down to 12 to 15 volts. 24-volt systems with RGB, it reduces it down to that. So, but with it is, you look at these systems and it will be like 150 watt, 300 watt, 600 watt. We are actually making bigger power supplies for our controller box, and people, even the dealer group, are like, "Wow, why would that be a thing? Why would I need that?" And it's like, well, if you want to add on to your system, a lot of landscape lighting systems, they don't have roofline lights.
Yeah, so exactly. That's exactly my point.
The wattage consumption of
or if they do, what I know in particular, it's not exactly what people consider to be permanent lighting on a roof line.
And so what happens is like, okay, let's say you have a 600 watt power supply. That's Invisalights. Let's say you get a 36 volt system, 600 watt. That's our most powerful system until you add another controller. And then you can go up to 200 feet in one direction without power injection. So you could do 400 feet if you split it without power injection. And if you look at it, it's like, well, at 400 feet, each puck light, which is 30 millimeter puck light, it's 1 watt. So how much did you consume wattage wise? If you're at full brightness, that's the other aspect of it. It's 1 watt at full brightness, which is what most people want to run their lights on anyways.
At first, at least.
At first, yeah. But it's 1 watt per light. And if you get all lights going, and let's say you do it at bright white, that's the most power pull of it all, is that power supply, you want to stay, there's a range, even with landscape lighting, they say 20% as a buffer. So an 80-20 rule, there's a 90-10 rule, sometimes people say, but if you give yourself 20%, it's definitely good enough. So out of a 600 watt power supply, what is that? Just to do quick math here real quick. But let's say you're going to do 80% of a 600 watt power supply. So 600 times 0.80. Yeah. Dang, I got a computer calculator. You got like a little
dog. I got an old fashioned calculator, and that's how I do on my payroll.
So, but let's just give a scenario. So it's if you're going to do, you can do up to 480 watts out of a 600 watt power supply to do the 80-20 rule. So that's 480 watts. That is 480 lights. With a 36 volt system, like I said, you could split it into 2 different directions or power inject. Can you go over that 80-20 rule with your power supply if you power injected it and ran stuff other places? The answer is yes. You can go over it. So that's one reason why you would want a bigger power supply, is where you could power inject a little bit more and kind of only have one less controller. But let's say you were to tap into that controller for landscape lights. So the industry is built where landscape lights are on a transformer and they only do the ground stuff. So you can, like Haven lighting, they're RGB. They have a 300 watt. They don't have anything bigger than 300 watt as far as I know. And so then you're only able to do 240. 240 divided by 6 watts, which is the path light or uplight, is divided by 6 watts. That's 40 fixtures that you could put on a 300 watt transformer. Max. Before you break into that, now could you do 41 fixtures? Yeah. Would you? It has a safety switch. Can it trip and maybe you're overloading or there's a surge? Yes, it could do that. It could trip, and that's why they say to stay in there. But
especially if you're on bright white versus red, you could, but on bright white you couldn't, and things like that.
Well, that's more of like an amp pool, but it goes into consumption, voltage drop. You'll get voltage drop more, and so that's why you do power injections, all that other stuff. Well, with this is like the reason why I say this is with the 600 watt times 0.8 is now you have 480 lights. Let's say you did have 450 lights on the house. You only have 30 watts left over before you break into that 80-20 rule. So with that is, let's say each one of those fixtures is 6 watts. And now you did 450 lights or something. You have 30 watts left, 6 lights. That's 5 lights. That's all you got on that system that you can tap into that system. So really what you're doing is building a controller that can tap into more things, not just roof, but ground, but bistro, like over, like a pergola or something like that. And you want that to be controlled. It's like, well, at what point do you train people to be like, do a different controller? You have to set it up in a way for training for them to understand that they cannot just overload a controller like that. You don't want to do it for the power supply alone. For the fans that are in there and everything else, you want to kind of break things up just a little bit. You can link these controllers with Invislights. So separating the controllers, reducing the load down, that's always the best plan. Like even in landscape lighting, if you would never want to go and break it up into the 90%, just like put another one over there with that power supply, and that transformer over there. So I think the biggest thing is when you add these things to a system that a controller cannot hold, people will be frying up controllers. They'll be burning up power supplies. They're not going to have a great experience. So it's, with like even other companies is they'll create different series of controllers. So you can't do that. Right. So it's like Haven has like where their strip lighting, it's a Q series, but then their regular landscape lights is a 9 series. They have 2 different controllers. So if you're going to do strip lighting, like around a bar, you can't plug into your transformer. That's because maybe it's cabinet lights. Right. Well, that's not an outside thing. So we're going to build a whole controller for that. And now you have multiple controllers based on what, if you need landscape lights, get our Invislights landscape lighting controller. Get your permanent lighting, roof light. Like we could orchestrate it that way. How that's done to be successful with it, how other people are doing it and everything is they're just adding and compiling more components onto a system instead of like really compartmentalizing. This is roof line, perimeter lighting. This is ground lighting. These are the rules for this. Here's the rules for this. That's what you see. When it gets very dynamic to where how do you simplify it to where other people that are learning it, the same thing with configuration is when you do the RGB and you want to configure something, you're telling it what to do. When you have your customer, your clients, other installers doing that, it complicates things. There's many human error factors to it that if you put out a product where it's like, hey, I'm doing the ground, I get a ground controller. I do the roof, I get a roof controller. And you dumb it down that simple, you can monetize it with your business, with your crews, with everything else. If you're like, hey, you're going to have this power supply, you can only hook up this much to this. And in this situation, you can only hook up this much here. You're going to have to also use different connections in the ground that you're going to bury. And this is the one that we recommend. Well, why don't we use that on the roof? Because that is not like on the ground where it's pooling water. That's up on the roof underneath a soffit, and it's like really educating everybody on the systems and why they are that way. That way, when they cross another system, they can actually know the right questions to ask is to be like, well, why does that plug into that controller and how can I mess this up? Like when you're asking those questions, it's because you already know from the training with Invislights, we educated you enough of what RGB is, not just what our system is, but like how to be successful with RGB. And then if you add stuff like landscape lights, the stuff you need to consider versus like, you can do it all. Everybody install as much as you humanly possibly can and buy lights from us. We don't want that.
That's Christmas lights, right? That's Christmas lights.
Oh yeah, that's don't cap a female. Do whatever you want, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's not gonna burn down a house.
It's never going to rain. Forget it.
Even fog will trip a GFI. Like if it gets enough condensation in the air, it'll start dripping on the line. I've even seen that. It's just crazy. So, but yeah, Invisalights, the greatest product I feel like that's out there. I think there is some capabilities that you're limited with. I think there's things that we're breaking ground with. I think it is a great product. You should investigate definitely in the market. Do not investigate Invisalights. Do not come to a training. You should be coming to a training, get yourself educated, be that professional, get that continued education. And where should you do it? The training at Ron Robey's Kingdom at the headquarters. Going to be putting it on a building, going to be cutting channels, going to be learning from industry experts. What is an expert? Who knows? It's continued education. It's years of doing Christmas lights. It's being dialed in. It's seeing that red and Christmas light during November, and you're at war and living that life for many different seasons. Yeah, I think that's what makes a professional. To be an industry expert is somebody who has lived the wars, has had multiple wars, and can actually like attest to it. And I think the people that are going there, the people that are attending the training also have stories. So I think it's going to be just a great thing. You said with the permanent light training is that, give me the breakdown of the itinerary. Like you said, there's going to be stakes.
Well, that's only for a select few people.
Corn on the cob.
Everyone, yeah.
We're gonna throw corn on the cob at everybody.
Filet mignon when Murphy comes to town, baby.
No, what is the itinerary? What's gonna happen? Walk me through it.
So Friday, for those of you who are blessed to take a day off, Friday, May 2nd, will be the come to the warehouse at 9:00 in the morning. From 9 to 4, we are going to be doing the training. We're going to be doing a lot of classroom training, some hands-on. Before you get a ladder up onto Ron's building, we're doing 4 buildings, commercial buildings. So before you start installing,
I have to talk to you something about this. Sorry, you're plugging and I'm interrupting, but don't let me forget. I think there's a product we could use that is coming out that's new.
Okay.
For your training. But go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you.
So we're doing 4 buildings. So even though we might have 3 buildings done, we're going to do installation and classroom training on Friday. Some people, unfortunately, weren't able to come on Friday, but they can make it on Saturday. So on Saturday, don't worry. We are going to do another abbreviated classroom. We can do this abbreviated classroom training while other people are also doing day 2 of install or whatever. We can kind of go back and forth, but it's going to be classroom training. It's going to be installation training. You're going to have pictures done. We're going to have a drone. But on Friday night, so that's Friday and Saturday. On Friday night, the local fire department, which is the Plantersville Stoneham Fire Department, they are going to have a steak dinner and fundraiser, which is like $25 or something. And just to show you about making videos, and I can make a video and all that kind of stuff, here's a video that I made for them with my cell phone, and I made this in just a few hours. So when you see this, just think, I'm going to have a video with you and your company installing Christmas lights you can help give to your customers. And Murphy is going to help you estimate to these customers that you're going to bring to this. And that's coming up this Friday, coming up May 2nd, May 3rd. Here's this video right here.
911, what's your emergency?
Get off your ass and get busy, baby.
He's like, a call's coming in. I like the heartbeat in it.
Yeah, I did that. I slowed it down to 70%.
70 beats per minute.
So I'm gonna turn this music down so we don't get jumped out of this one. But yeah, so I made this video for the Plantersville Fire Department on that Friday. They're definitely doing a steak dinner. It's a fundraiser. They're giving away a 4-wheeler. They have classic cars. They have a bunch of cool auction things that are happening Friday night for the local fire department. It's going to be actually at the St. Mary's Church, which is right down the street from our warehouse, but it's going to be a live band. Bill Moat is our neighbor, but he has an awesome, if you like country music and older country music, they're fantastic. They're going to be out there playing raffles, just really good people. So Friday, we're going to do the permanent lighting training from 9 to 4:30, somewhere in that neighborhood. And then at 5 o'clock, we're going to go set this up. We're going to go out there. That's my other neighbor. He's running for office, but we're going to set all this stuff up. And this Friday night, and then Saturday, we're going to return and do more training. But the local the volunteer, that's Laura. The local fire department, we just love the fire department. We love supporting the community. We love how these guys just show. This is from Easter, the drone I did for Easter. But these guys just show up. The fire chief is sitting here dressed up as an Easter bunny. And, you know, I just love people who love the community and they're coming out there doing things. And I just want to be a part of stuff like that. So I know this might not be your local community, but hanging out there, live music, live food. I couldn't think of a better way to spend Friday night. If you want to spend Friday night with us, they do have a website that you can sign up, and it's $25 in advance for the steak dinner and all the stuff. Or I think it might be $30 in person or something. It's not a big deal, but that's where we'll be Friday night. And then we'll come back on Saturday.
I mean, you got to eat dinner, right?
You got to eat something, and then this thing's badass. Check out this out right here. Fire, baby. So, I mean, that right there would be your logo, your business. I'll make something cool at the end of the video, and then you'll have something you can show your customers about, hey, I did permanent lighting. Check out this job that we just did. Here's pictures of me inside the video working, and then I could make one for you so you can advertise to your customers. So that's something that will come with the training, and that's something that no one's offering. And bring your customers, and I'll help you estimate them, that Joey was saying that he would help you, and all this kind of stuff. That's another thing that you're not getting with many trainings. They're just showing you this one job. So hands-on training, learn permanent lighting. If you have any questions about RGB, I don't know anyone in the country that's better person to talk to than Murphy, and that will be available in the future. Also, when you need help when you're on that ladder and you're actually installing it, you're like, oh shit, I got a question. So Murph, and then I'm a big guy in Christmas lights. I know a lot about Christmas lights. You'll be on our property where we do it, and it'll be a fun time for us to hang out and engage. And then we'll have lunch on Saturday. Laura from the Kingdom Food Network, Chef Laura, my wife, she will be cooking up something special for Saturday. So don't worry, we'll have food provided, and it's $100, dude. If you don't think you're worth $100, you need to look in the mirror and say you are. And then after that, go online, and then I'm sure there'll be a website tagged where you just click on the button, you get the training, show up, and we'll get you all set up, man. Come hang out with us next weekend. And then after next weekend, we are both going to where Invisalights are warehoused and produced, is in Utah. So I'll be there, Murphy will be there, and Jason Guyman, where we'll see if we can get this arm wrestling situation figured out.
I will sanction the event.
Exactly.
I'll do it. I'll do it, dude. Yeah. I think Jason needs to be included in this conversation too.
I know. He's probably like, I have no idea what the hell he's talking about, but I should probably call him. Yeah.
Like I have a ESPN Ocho sanctioned event.
Yeah.
For Jason Guyman.
You need one of those tables with the freaking little peg on it so you can grab the peg.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure. I mean, Utah has to have somewhere that.
No, dude, we got to make one.
I think we can make
Armando,
one.
take a break from scheduling, people traveling all over the country and get a table with two pegs, please. Yeah.
Please. Like, what are you doing, Armando? And he's like, I'm getting ready for our little
arm wrestling
soiree. And he's like, what are you building?
Guyman's like, I didn't see the podcast. What are we talking about?
Everybody's fucking clueless.
Yeah. But yeah, permanent lighting, man. I've done my research. I know what I'm talking about. For Christmas lighting, I have the relationships to talk to the right people in permanent lighting to find out which ones. And I've talked to all of them. Believe me, all of them. I've investigated all of them. And I trust certain people that I know for a fact are an expert in these situations, and I know that I don't have the most amount of knowledge in this, and I haven't really done it on this scale like a lot of people have, so I trust their opinion of what they think is the right decision. And after doing the research, I have found Invisalites is the right one, and even though you may not know, you can trust that I have done the research, and you can trust what I say, and I trust what Murphy says, and that Murphy actually is quit doing distribution and actually works directly with Lights at Wholesale and sells the Invisalite product and provides support and everything. And I trust that. And that's one of the reasons why we decided that for our family and for our business and our future, that Invisalites is the right choice.
Yeah, I think
right.
No, I appreciate all the kind words you said. And with it is, if
it's true though.
But, well, that's the thing. It's not hard to like educate people when you're just saying the truth. You know what I mean? You never have to worry about what you're saying because you're just saying the truth. But I think, with it is when you say I did the research and you can trust me or Murphy's been involved in, and it's like, well, trust us enough to at least just get in the trainings and come to trust us enough that we say this and then let us show you, but we can't show you unless you come to the training. It just
I mean, I'd love to offer the training for free and put it online. You can see the training and stuff like that, but you're just not going to be successful. There's nothing like being there.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it. Like there's nothing like being on the ladder and putting in a track and putting the lights through it and making the connections, hooking it up to your phone, and you're actually doing it and the building's changing and there's documentation that you're not talking to a customer saying, I can do these things. You can show a customer, look what I did. Look at this last commercial job that I just installed. And let me show you all these cool things, how it works. Because when you look online, there's not enough people that are showing this beautiful product and all these functions it can do. So we're going to assist in bringing some more awareness to that one, because I believe there's a lot of products that are very similar, let's be honest. But the major difference is the responsiveness of the people that work there, the dedication and the strive for excellence that the people that work there. And then if you say, hey, I just had seven people order a demo kit, the person responds, even no matter how busy they are, they respond right away. Okay, I'm gonna send this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. That's the type of shit that's super important. If someone puts you in ghost town, the product ain't worth shit because you have no support. You have to have support in addition to having a good product. A lot of the products are similar, but the support and the people that work there, that's the major difference in our decision with Invisalites.
Yeah.
No, right.
It's a big decision factor is that right there, because you can have the greatest product in the world and it's the responsiveness. That's why me coming down there is to help assist you in this training and everything, is to make everybody successful as much as humanly possible. That's my goal. I think with everything that Invisalites is doing, like I stand here, right? Like I said, the whole distribution thing and kind of
you're sitting down,
right?
I sit here and declare
but it's like the amount of things that can get accomplished by like having the support is now you can actually move things and there's no hiccup or delays of things. And I see that with a lot of different companies.
Yeah, but I didn't mean to cut you off, which I do. But I didn't mean to cut you off, but there was a time as most recent as last year where a lot of people start considering, should I buy the products from China and these other things? And ever since this tariff stuff started talking, I think a lot less people are like, let me buy something from China. The uncertainty of that is just beyond comprehension, as it hasn't been like there was uncertainty previously, but now there's a lot of uncertainty for many different reasons. I trust someone who knows what they're talking about that can navigate through those waters literally and make sure that I have a great product and I have a great price for that product. So that's another thing.
Well, everybody did
get
real quiet about all that. And then now they're like, well, what about it? What it is people import. This is goods. This is trades. This is what it is that everybody imports a ton of lights into the United States. And that is called like your distributor, your vendor, that is domestic. So international, it's manufactured made. Then you have people who are rebranding things, repackaging things, whatever you want to say from many different factories. It happens with any utensils, everything, everywhere. And what happens is these chips are made in China. They built their economy to do this in China, and they have 4 times the amount of people that we do. And we don't want to do that stuff. We don't want to pick up shovels. We want to be AI people. That's what we want. We want to sit on our computers and be fat lugs. That's what Americans want to be.
I want to make $35 an hour and feel like I'm worth 50. So I'm only going to give you 75% of my time because I feel like you're only paying for 75% of my time.
That stuff.
And then really it's like, you can't even do business because it costs too much.
It costs too much.
Even if the tariffs were 400%, it still wouldn't make sense to make the lights there.
It doesn't matter. Even 150% versus 400, you've broken the dam. The barrier of existence of that working is not going to work. And so with it is you have the manufacturers, then you have domestic people. So people who buy a lot of products, maybe they get manufactured made in a certain way that's specific to their company, their brand, because they're seeing something in the market that's not working and they want to improve it. So you get all these people that are risking their money with distribution and manufacturing products and importing them into the United States. They're bigger distributors that you see. And when there's low tariffs or there's like the pricing in the market goes way down, which happened over the past couple of years, you start seeing a bunch of people trying to sell lights because it's acceptable and they can flip it. But you have to get a following. You have to do good business practice. It's a whole different bit. There's a lot of reasons why people aren't successful.
And it's distracting.
It's very distracting on your seasonal business. Yeah. That makes a huge percentage of markup. And then you're trying to push all these lights. And it's like, if you did $1 million worth of Christmas lights installing or $1 million distribution, what would your net profit be on each one? Vastly different. So you have to have massive capital to import these goods in, sit on it, and then hopefully you offload and get rid of this in a competitive market. So now with the tariffs and everything that's happened here is that these people who are importing in all these lights and all these goods, they assume the risk. That's why they get the reward at the end. So when you're like, oh, I'm going to go direct China or whatever, then you have to deal with the tariffs. You have to assume the risk. And then when you get that 150% markup on the tariffs, and you get that if
worst case scenario is not a good scenario.
But with businesses, you always have to play out the worst case scenario, right?
Yeah.
You have to entertain that may go down that path. And so if you do that, then what does it look like? You cannot sell this stuff for what you're saying you can anymore. And so now that's why people are hesitant on it. But my point is that it's the risk is in importing in the goods. And that's why people make money doing it. That's like, I want to move a couple pallets. You saw a couple pallets move and you saw the company make a bunch of money. What you didn't see is them risk all their money, navigate the tariffs, get it landing at certain times, the point, getting the stuff in, the inventory man, even before it moves to you, is all the work it took for a distributor is insane. It's insane. And so you're trying to battle pricing with 5-10%. If you're ever in that realm, the question you have to ask yourself when you go to check out, with the total, not even with the shipping, everything, the taxes, everything, you have to be like, do I want to buy from this company? Can I sustain their products? Because that's the other thing, a certain Kelvin temperature or a certain brand, you can't find that bulb again once they run out, right? And so am I going to purchase from this organization, and is it worth it for 5 or 10% to be off? Do they price match maybe? You know what I mean? But if you're off by 5 or 10, that should not swing you. Pricing shouldn't swing you in that direction. If it's so close to that pricing of a C9 bulb, and let's say 50 cents, 52 cents, and you're saying, well, I have to buy 100,000. What company are you buying from? Are they going to be responsive? If you have problems, are they going to manufacture warranty back?
Well,
do they have all that stuff? And then you're still going to have to service it if it isn't warranty. Again, you're going down every bad case scenario that you go with. And it's like, I think you should buy for customer service if they're going to pick up the phone. Like that could swing me in a direction of 5%. Is how good your organization is ran. Yeah. If I'll buy from you versus not. That's why I'm saying pricing is not the price. Race to the bottom is not race to the bottom. It's race to customer service at this point is what I'm
feeling. I think in Christmas lights is totally different than permanent lighting because you're guaranteeing that shit was going to work till Christmas. And worst case scenario, you could just replace everything. If just the worst case scenario. But when you're talking about permanent lighting and guaranteeing it for 5 years, or what, maybe you have a workmanship warranty, but you're talking about 5 years. You need someone that you trust that's going to be lock, step, toe with you in that adventure, especially when you're small. What are you buying? If you're going to buy like 100 houses worth of materials, then yeah, maybe you can entertain some other options. But if you're only buying, less than 10 houses at a time, the domestic makes way more sense, especially with how long the warranty is.
Yeah.
Right.
That and cash flow is another big thing with businesses. And sometimes, ordering domestically is just the better option because.
Well, and also it's hot. It's hot. It's hot. Yeah. So, hey, I got a house and it needs black track. Okay. So I didn't really have any houses that have black track or this autumn brown track or something that matches. Then you're going to sit there and wait for 3 weeks, for you to get that for the customer, and you needed some extra and you have to wait 3 more weeks. You're going to lose the customer with those delays. You need someone who has that stuff, has distribution locations all over the country. And when you click that button 2 days later, it shows up. That's like exactly what you want to do. Or cough up $300,000 and let's buy a bunch of shit you don't need. And then no matter how much money you make, you still got more materials that sitting there doing nothing. That's the real thing about the.
Well, with permanent lighting, it's Christmas lighting. It is an assembly of products, and you can access that assembly of products from many different places. Yeah. With permanent lighting, it's very spec driven and it's very particular to that product. So with landscape lighting if you're not doing an RGB system, even just a transformer, you can use any transformer, you can use any timer, you can use any manufactured wire as long as it's like we use a lot of 12-2, but as long as it's 2-gauge wire and it's decent, it's copper wire. The what comes into play with just regular landscape lights is the fixtures. It's the bulb and it's the drivers. Like whether it's the bulb or the driver, but it's like integrated fixtures, retrofit fixtures. And so it's like, that's what really makes the system great, and your connections. So the connections don't fail. So that's the main 2 things you need to focus on. If you're just doing basic landscape lighting is connections, and then the actual fixtures, not even the transformers matter as much. And so with permanent lighting is like, you can't just do that. You can't just go pick up a 300-watt transformer somewhere and plug your wires into it. It's not universal. And so you want a company to be really responsive, especially if you're using their type of products, and have enough stock of that. I know Invisalights is in the thousands of % above what it did last year to date. Yeah. So it's booming. It's very big. We have a lot of supplies. There's orders going out every single day, and people are installing this stuff, great results out of it, and ordering more. So I think when you have 4 different locations, what we have right now, we have Texas, we have Utah, we have Indiana, and now we have North Carolina, is that when you're able to do that shipping within 2 days and get that stuff really fast, I think that's another reason why we're being successful, is people can get the products in their hands right away. They can go install it and make their customers happy. All
right. I got a question.
Yeah.
I took off the training thing at the bottom since I'm a co-host now.
Sure.
A lot of the country wants to know this. And since we're live, I have to ask you this question. So Murphy Christmas Lighting, huge, over $1 million in products that are being sold and everything. Huge ass fucking company. All this biggest warehouse I've seen, bigger than a lot of these other warehouses. All these warehouses that you have, and then you go starting the beginning of this year, and you're working full time with Lights at Wholesale from running your own business. What the hell? Tell me about this and what life has been like since you started and not owning your own business for distribution.
These are the days of our lives.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
A day in the life of Joey Murphy.
But everyone wants to know that. They're like, I thought he was, I can't believe that shit still don't make sense to me. What's the story behind that? And it's like, I don't know. I'll ask him.
Okay. Well, yeah. So, we distributed since 2020. Since 2020, distributing is really hard to get in. You've been distributing for a couple of years now, and it's like 2021 with the backed up ports, and then like it just
the shipping containers, elevated
things arriving late.
Price, yeah.
It's just like, oh, you get promises, and it's so distribution is very hard for anybody who's coming out. We did build out an inventory management system over the past 2 years. We built out really robust systems, and we had a certain way we sold lights and did lights, and in the market changed and things moving around, and we look at it, and there are certain reasons when I started to do distribution of what I wanted the goal to be. And then now we get here, and now we're so far off our goal.
What was the goal?
the goal was to cover my warehouse spaces. Distribution would pay for the warehouse spaces and would pay for me and Chelsea's basic salary. So therefore, anything with the installation side was like, we don't have to pay for the warehouse overhead. And it's almost like, besides labor and insurance and stuff like that, it's almost 100% profitable. So I wanted to cover my leased warehouse spaces and cover a basic salary for myself. And when I started distributing after the second year, we achieved that. And so now the installation company and the distribution company were both so strong that they go with each other. But then we started selling above that and above that and above that. And then it started being like, well, I'm risking a lot of money, importing a lot of money. And then if I don't sell 50% of this, I will work a whole season and make zero because everything is in product, which is not good. And then there's tariffs. And so it goes into like, also we were doing things really good locally, but not nationally. And so we didn't ship out a lot of stuff. And so we started doing a little pick, pack, ship, being a fulfillment center for other companies because we built out robust systems. So I was like, I'll distribute myself, but then I'll carry more Christmas products, help other companies get out their orders.
Hold on, just so we're not confused here. This is like in, 2 years ago? Last year?
This was like July
last year. You're like, you know what? I don't want to make the investment in, 1 point however many million.
Yeah, we only ordered a little bit of lights, and I'm just looking at it like I don't want to really dump a ton of money into it.
I know. I'm with you, dude.
Because I also had like a $350,000 worth of backstock too, and I'm just sitting there looking at it like it's all paid off, and I'm like, this could be in my bank account right now. Like this is crazy.
I know. You and I have conversations every day. Like, I should just buy some real estate, dude.
Yeah, like this would be a better investment than this, And so you look at it, and it is an investment. It is risk, and it's like, why do you get into that game? Well, I have a installation company, so having the supplies on hand is really advantageous.
I have it. I'm already loading up crews anyway. I already have the materials, and I'm giving it to crews anyway. Might as well have people pay for the service.
So then we did pick, pack, ship for a couple different companies actually last year on top of ourselves. So we were doing like multiple different. And then with lights at wholesale, we were just seeing the amount of what they were selling the lights at, their systems, the kind of market share that they had, how much they shipped, and I felt like I was missing something. Like Dustin was so successful at doing this, but he's also been doing it a lot longer. And I was like, you know what? We have robust systems that are actually more robust than their systems, and we want to scale even individually. Could we help some other companies scale with our systems? And the answer was yes. And so that's what's happened is we had a conversation after the season was over. How well did it go? We flew out to Utah, had some talks. Hey, how would this work if we did want to team up together, like and just be one unit? What do you see as myself? Because how I wanted to do and what Dustin saw as me, that's one good thing he does is he does see people for maybe what they want to be, but also what they want to do, and then where they're going to settle to. And so he tries to put you in position on a team, be like, hey, I know you want to be the quarterback, but man, you'd be a really good wide receiver. And you're like, I don't want to be a wide receiver.
Yeah, cool. Dude. I want my name in the paper, MVP, baby.
Yeah. It's like, well, would you at least be a running back for a little bit and maybe see a different perspective? And you're like, yeah. And then that's what he does and puts you in perspective. And then you get that perspective, and then you're able to do things in a different space. So like I said, always wearing 13 hats, but then you go and you take away 10 of those hats, and now you only do 3 of those. How far can you go? Like the distance of space could you go with that one hat is like if you had to be content creating only.
Oh, dude, that would be the life I would love to live if I could.
Ron, don't worry about getting ordering supplies. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about market analysis and product pricing. Don't worry
about your bills or money that you have to make. Just focus on content creation and making that phone ring. That's what I want you to focus on.
That's what I want. It's sales, get roping people in, get it going. And I find you're very good at that. You're a good speaker, and it's like you're not tapping into that because you're so stretched thin with all these other things. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, well, I could see that. And that's another reason why you would want to team up with somebody is because you're going to help them. They're going to help you. 1 + 1 = 3, that synergistic effect, you empower each other. And that's why companies even do stuff like that is because you do have something to offer and they have something to offer you, and it's mutual. It's a great relationship. And
it helps when you work with your wife. So your wife's pretty much running the whole entire business while you could do something else. That's nice.
Yeah, that's the thing. Chelsea does run Murphy Christmas lighting. I still do a lot of the day-to-day stuff, but with it is it's basically comes across my desk as like, okay, I approve, or we should change this. But for the most part, I basically am like approve. There'll be one things here and there where I'll tell them to change things. But
you oversee it like it's a company you own, but you're like just,
well, I'm over here.
Yeah.
I'm working my butt off at this other company, and you got to run this company. So it's like, how do you do it year round? And it's like, well, with distribution, and that's my main focus, and then Chelsea's on the installation side, and I kind of help oversee things. Again, we talked about how it takes years to even build a family to be able to be around this business full time, but the other thing is to even be able to take something like that on is like, you have to have all your ducks in a row on the other business and be very confident in that business, which we are, because our processes and everything are just I feel like there's not much more we can do, is we restructure every year. But then it's like, when you get everything really going together and your calendar gets caught up with all the different projects you want to do to improve your business. And it's like, after, 5-6 years of doing that, you've got to be at a point where it's kind of like, how we take in leads is like, it's awesome. Like, we don't really need to improve. You need to focus more on like getting people's attention to your company more so than building the company. Yeah. Building the company is like, I'm talking about building a foundation, building a building like a skyscraper. You have to do that with cash flow and money. And sometimes people think it's more customers. You're going to build that. That's where we say like the scalability thing is you can grow too fast. It's because you didn't build the foundation to even establish that high-rise building. You didn't. And so it takes years and years to be able to run on a you can't just within 1 or 2 years run a successful I don't see it that way as a holiday lighting seasonal business. I don't. I find it a lot of work to build. You have to dive in. You have to commit. You have to overcommit yourself. And if you have something else, like one of the firefighters we had on, he was like, if I could be full-time, I would. I'm like, you're comparing apples to oranges.
Oh, is that the Johnny guy?
Yeah, Mr.
John. He's a firefighter. I said, man, Murphy didn't even have me on the show because this freaking guy named John or whatever it was. Yeah, it's like
now Ron's got a beef with John Chen. Yeah.
I know. It's like, oh, you know who it is? I think his name is John, but we
Jackie Chan. Who was it?
We're arm wrestling, dog. We're arm wrestling. No. But anyway, but the question was, I understand like that was the situation, but now you go from being a business owner, and anyone who's a business owner back to being an employee at a company. That's something like that has to be how has that experience been?
Kind of what I anticipated it to be.
Stressful.
I wouldn't say stressful.
I just want to kill everyone. No,
it's not stressful. It's not like we talk about stressors. It's like, this ain't a bad stressor. Like if a tower tree fell over, that would be a stressor,
that's not in my job description. That's what people tell you, right? Yeah. That's not in my job description. If you have a problem with a serious problem, like you want to cuss someone out, that's Billy's job, or Car Armando. He would love to hear about the whole story. Don't leave out any details.
Yeah, that's not my job, But with it is, I would say that you like I do. Like, people will say like you're a visionary and then you're an integrator. And I get why some people's characteristics have that. I believe I am both. I don't, maybe that's very, very egocentric.
100%. I cannot believe that you are doing that. That has got to be the greatest pull I've ever seen. Him getting Guyman earlier on from wherever he was working, and then getting you a part of the team. That's got to be the two greatest hires I have seen in the industry.
Well, the other thing is who has done that?
I can't think of one person.
Hiring a full-time influencer
that's done it recently,
and then hiring, integrator, scalability type person, or whatever the heck I am, is like, with it is like, when you do that, is I think it speaks volume of what Lights at Wholesale is attracting, and then what it will look like in the next couple of years is another dangerous thing. I think a lot of people should be scared in the market that are distributors, because you have. Like that one company, 60 million with 50 employees, is they're plugging away and they're a giant machine. Is you have another machine over here called lightsatwholesale.com, and they are plugging away, and it's a machine running 24/7. It's, it has oil changes. It's not burning up. It's not like this thing is chugging 24/7. And so I think when you hop into an organization like that, you're also hopping in when you didn't create it. So when I was talking about the visionary and the integrator, is that a lot of times, a lot of business owners, they're very visionary, and then they hire people to be integrators, whatever. To me, is I can see it, I can make it, and I can apply it. That's why I can do online schooling, because I can do not in person. I can do a virtual training and actually apply this stuff. It's just a skill I have, but that is what also makes me a business owner. But the integration part is I can also do. So that's what's really hard is I'm also like, you know, you look at topics within the organization, it's like, well, here, we're going to try to do this. And it's like, okay, well, you would divide it up and you'd put the visionary with the visionary side and the integrator with the integration side to get it done, right?
Yeah.
The frustrating part for me is I want to see it, do it, build it, and integrate it all at one time. And it doesn't always work like that when you're on a team. It's like, Joey, I just need you to integrate. We already saw the vision. We already had a discussion about that.
Or, hey, you did a good job, man, but we're going in a different direction. We're actually not going to use what you just worked off for 2.5 weeks. You know, like, what happened?
Yeah, they're like, so Joey's thing, scrap that. And I'm like,
but
2 weeks. Come on, man.
I'm dotting your eyes as soon as I see you.
Yeah, right. But it does. I am very passionate. I'm very emotional about what I do. I put 110% in, and so when I try to deliver something and it doesn't hit the way I want, there's a couple things already that were like that, where I try to do something and people like, no, we're not going to do that. And it's also, you try to look at it as like, are you missing something that they're seeing? Because the organization is more successful than you were individually. So you have to always question the way you see things. Because if an organization was less than when you walked in, you're like, well, we talked about that training thing. Like, I'm a veteran and I know things. And it's like, well, you can't do that either, because then nobody's going to follow you. That's a leadership style nobody wants to see. So I think it's also, you know, I want to be heard, but at the same time, I want other team members to be heard. And then when we try to integrate something, I want it to run seamlessly. And a lot of times it doesn't do that, because you may have more than one team member on it, and then one team member isn't pulling as fast as you are or more inspired than you are. Plus, how I work is a lot different. It's probably a lot how you work is, if I don't feel like doing something, I may just take an hour or two and go do something else.
Yeah, or dare to. And I'm joking.
Right. And then it's like, I'm going to go into the warehouse. I'm going to go move some stuff versus I really want to be on the computer today, or I really want to. And so I really do move myself to where I want to be. And sometimes you have deadlines and other things where, even though you don't want to do this, you've got to pump this out right now. We're on a deadline. And so that's another aspect, is like having the accountability of other team members to like push you when you don't want to do something. So I wouldn't say
being on a podcast, because I think I've heard like 3 times, you like when the season starts, you know, no offense, of course, you like on the Murphy Christmas Light Installer Facebook group, you'll say, all right, man, I'm gonna start posting everything every single week, and I'm gonna do this and this, or I'm gonna make these videos, and then I'm gonna continue making these, and then you just get busy with other shit, and then you're like, whatever. But now it's almost like now you're doing this because,
well, it was those 13 hats, and now I'm only wearing 3, and now the things I always said I was going to do, I can
for your own business. Now you're doing.
So you gotta. It's being stretched too thin, and people are like, oh, you're a year-round Christmas light. What do you do? I do it so much, I'm stretched too thin. Okay. Yeah. I have to hire more people and other things, and it's like when you talk to another person who's year-round full-time like that you don't have to explain yourself with those things, because they actually live it too. But like you said, is how many people are actually doing it, and how much people are actually getting face-to-face conversation about it. Yeah. It's very few. And then the people who are listening to like this podcast and stuff is like, they're new, they're getting started with it. They just don't know. They just don't know. And that's how you kind of educate yourself. Listen to hours and hours and hours, hopefully, of Joey Murphy's Going Live podcast.
Well, hell yeah, dog. Why would you
understand? You got to understand
the free training.
It really is. Like, this is insane.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to tell you. My August is like your October. You know what I'm saying? Not yours. If you're listening to this, my August and all the commercial estimates that have gone out, but they still have to meet with the board member, and then they might have to take a month off because Betty was on vacation or whatever, and then they get to it, and then they get your deposit before October when it has to be installed. My July and August, I'm doing estimates like you do in October. I mean, my off season that you think is my off season, it just seems like it's nothing because it's nothing compared to what it is in season. But I know, Joey, even this week, you're doing like estimates for commercial stuff for your Christmas light installation business, especially like, as it gets closer, like July and August, I'm busy every single day doing estimates for commercial properties. And that's something that a lot of people don't even realize how it's a year-round business.
I'm behind on quotes.
I know. It's like hard to believe.
It's like, oh, let's do this podcast instead of go make money.
I know. It's like, what a waste of time. Yeah.
but I can do both. It's just you got to pull longer hours. You got to, if you want to achieve things, you got to make room for them. And I think, the setup I have right now, I think this is going to be one of our greatest seasons yet. Whether it's helping people with supplies. Networking with other people, getting our message out with like this podcast, our installation side, we've been closing some commercial jobs, which is, I'm very grateful for there. And every time we land a job, I'm very blessed. We were talking about being privileged to be able to even do this job. And I do feel a little privileged. I do look at other people's situations of what they have in life, and the amount of hours and work that I've gone into building the foundation and to build that skyscraper called Murphy Christmas Lighting, and even teaming up with Lights at Wholesale and the foundation they did. Oh yeah, Texas proud right there. It's like I am very prideful to be able to be in an area that is booming. The winters are not harsh, so you can actually do a lot of the lighting. The market dictates and the market keeps coming back year after year with more and more money on it. And just to be able to have the setup we have, homeschool our kids, everything else, is sometimes you look at, when I talk about waking up in the bed and stuff, and it's like, if you wrote all this shit out of what you have in your life right now, even if you didn't have the money and you're struggling to pay it and you're putting it on credit cards or anything, to be able to put it on a credit card and even have the capacity of credit to put it on a credit card. It's like, when you like get upset about those things, you got to start realizing the life you kind of built for yourself and stop looking at like all these things you want to accomplish in the future and start looking at what you have done in the past. I know when I go through my photos and I'm trying to find something, I don't group my photos the best, but I start looking and
no bullshit. You told me I was like, when you're doing these podcasts, you really have to organize your stuff. Oh man, I'm already doing that. I'm like, okay.
Oh, I'm doing it because I got to do this and I got to pull up stuff quickly.
Okay. Sounds
like,
good.
But I have organized. I spend.
I know I'm messing with you, bro.
But it's like the photos, and then you go back, and then I see that photo of me running Christmas lights with my 4Runner, with my kids in the back on their iPads, taking photos of me inside the car. I'm literally, their mom's at work, and I took them to a house. I'm up on a roof. They're in the back with their iPads, and they're like shooting video of me up on a roof, and they're literally like, 3 years old, and they're like doing this and all over the place, and they're taking photos of each other escaping out the back hatch and everything. And I'm up on the roof, and then I'm like, get back in the truck, it's like,
yeah, no kids around at the customer's house. You're not even supposed to be here.
Yeah, it's like you got your 3-year-old running around in my front yard while you're on the roof. Like, that's not professional. Like, it literally was like that. And then I look at the warehouse and everything else, and sometimes I'm like, you know what? I did build something here for my family and everything. And so I do become very grateful for our customers. I become very prideful of people that do business with me, people that do business, because it does feed my family, So even what Lights at Wholesale is doing, for them to take me on and stuff like that, it does speak volumes to be able to be that person that somebody does want. They want to inject into their organization. They believe in you and they want to provide for your family. So, why can't I be grateful for that? Like, that's a very powerful thing.
Dude, I wake up every day and I know that most people do not do this. I swear they don't. And I know it's the only reason is because if I feel like I'm retired right now, but I wake up in the morning, I'm just so happy, dude. I'm just so grateful. I'm so happy of everything. And I have not forgotten where rock bottom was, because it wasn't that long ago I was there, and I'm just like, no matter what you complain about, if you can just put it in perspective, just, it's not about getting what you want. It's about wanting what you already have. And look around. If they took away everything today, literally, if I took away, or if it was taken away every single thing you have today that you weren't appreciative for, what would you have? And the answer, a lot of people, is nothing, because they don't appreciate a damn thing. But, then you start going, well, when you lose something or whatever, you're like, damn, I kind of like that, Yeah. I love my car. I mean, walking's a bitch or whatever, just very appreciative of, damn, I got this cell phone.
I think you have to get perspective. That's why, like, kids act up and you tell them, but they're going to have to live it themselves a little bit. Like, and so I think.
Oh, I was talking to adults.
But that's the thing is, even with adults, is like, let's say an adult was going partying with their friends. They got a DUI. They lost their job. Like firefighting, you can't really get a DUI and work.
Or a truck driver. I was a truck driver. Same thing. There is no work permit.
Yeah, a UPS guy got laid off because he got a DUI. And it's like, but you drive and then you get a DUI, which is irresponsible driving. And you made that choice and that decision to be driving like that. And then you lose your car. Then you're like, I hate not having a car. Like, this sucks. And I hate not having that job that I worked so hard for. Over what? Like, what for what?
That one night that you made that stupid decision. Yeah.
And you're living with it for so long. And I think it's, when you get in that situation, you get perspective and then you start being grateful, but you hit that rock bottom. So now you can be grateful because you had the feeling, the feeling. It's the same thing like tasting a strawberry. It's the senses. It's like your mouth's already salivating when you see that strawberry. You know what it tastes like. And it's like, well, because you tasted it, your mouth is salivating. Not because you didn't taste it and now you salivate. You should be salivating on the stuff that you don't even taste. And you can see, and that should get you up in the morning, right? Like, I want a super ripped, fit body. Well, you've got to get out of bed and get to that gym. And that has to happen all the time.
You're insane, dude. You're insane, dude.
Yeah. No consistency. Plug away.
Oh, is that what it is?
Is plug, dude. And then you will get it because you did have enough discipline. And then you will be grateful for the body you have because you went through the challenges of not knowing what the journey would be, but you still did it anyways. You know what I mean? And so I feel like, why can't you be grateful before the journey started? There's a guy that's, I don't know his name, but he's doing skateboarding across America. And I've been watching him. He's on his like 95th day. And with it is, in that journey, he like pack his bag and everything, but he doesn't know what's going to 100% come across that journey. But he's so grateful that he can skateboard across America, right? He knows his journey is going to be exciting. It's like you go on vacation and before you go, like you're going somewhere new, and before you go there, you're already excited about doing it, but it's like
Chad Caruso.
Why can't you
achieved it and a Guinness World Record in 2023 by skating across the country in 57 days.
Oh, he ain't going for speed.
Skateboarding.
Anything. He even took a day. He's like, I hurt my knee. And then like I took a day off and I went and he didn't just keep going, but he like sleep in a tent, sold his tent. We'll be in the hotel. The whole point with it though is that, being grateful before it comes to you. I think a lot of times is people are impatient in business and then they're not grateful unless they get a bid. Like, I'm grateful to even be in position to bid the bid. And then if I don't get the bid, did I learn something from the bid? And it's like, I didn't get that one, but am I not grateful that I didn't even get the opportunity? No, it gave me insight and I'm good with it. So I'm even grateful before the things approach me, which I think is a huge maturity thing that because I've hit rock bottom many times and failed many times in things, I've been very successful many times with things, but to say I'm like a winner 100%, that's just not true. And so to be able to have those losses and then have the perspective enough to know, to be grateful as things come my way, like stop and smell the roses type thing, it's 100% true. Like it's not that bland. When you're in season, do you stop for a second, look at what you're doing? Like sometimes I look and I'm like, I cannot believe we just did this massive monumental project.
There's always one moment in the season. And it's, for me, it's just that one moment, and it happens every season at this particular moment, which changes. It's you developed all these processes and you've done all this stuff and you've hired all these people and you have all this hiring paperwork and you went over all these pay plans and you went over all this stuff and you've hired these people to answer these phones and to take over these responsibilities. And there's always that one moment that everything is happening and you're sitting in that moment in the driver's seat and you're just like, damn, it's all working. It's all happening. It's all like operating. Like nothing's falling apart. It's actually working. It's like, there's always that moment. It's my favorite moment in the season.
Well, that is probably one of the best times to be an owner. It's very small moments, but it's moments like that where
it's that one way.
you just stand back for a sec because everybody is working, and you're just like, there's like 30 people working, and they come in the warehouse, crews are getting their stuff loaded, everybody's having a good time, they're laughing. Did you get this? Oh yeah, we got this. And you just sit there and you're like, what the fuck did I just make? What did I create? Like,
it's actually working. Like, it's working. Oh my gosh.
It's like I'm a witch and I'm just brewing the cauldron, and the cauldron's just like, it's just moving, you know. And it's a very good thing when you're a business owner to like have when it does that, but it very rarely does that. So it's like,
no, it's just one moment. I mean, it's one moment, and every, like A-Team. I love it when a plan comes together. It's just that one moment, every show.
Well, yeah, it's like at the very, very end. I love it when a plan came together. You're like, yeah, I had to skydive into another plane with grenades, but yeah, we got it done. You know, it's like I agree with it, and I think even if it doesn't go as planned, there's beauty to that. You know? But I think it's, at the end of the day, is not to stress yourself out with anything you can't control. Taking beauty into what you've created. Stop and reflecting for a moment, even when you're really tired. I know when you get done with installation, I always am like, okay, from December 15th to December 24th, I'm going to take project photos. And
you never do. You never do.
Like, I don't want to drive another mile. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, that truck has been running the wheels off it. If it ain't a maintenance, I don't want to go out there.
Exactly. And even then I'm not going. I'm sending my best guy.
Yeah. And then it's like, I want them to take. And so it's just like, you know, even in those moments, it's like, let's load up the kids and let's go to it. What we did was we ended up going to a date night, or even loading the kids up and go and do something. And then when it's around dusk, we were around that area. And then I just peeled off for 30 minutes and then took the photos. But I made it a family event.
You actually did it.
Yeah. I would go on a date with Chelsea.
Just fuck it, dude. I need to change my process where they send me the photos when it's done, or pay something to go.
But they're not out there at night all the time, you know? And it's like, so, but I would say, we got to go to Irving. We got 3 clusters of projects here I got to take photos for. I do a weekly site check. That's what we do, is like check up on photos. And most of that is also to force us to take photos of the projects too, but also it's a maintenance thing. And so I'll be like, look, here's 3 of these, and here's 3 good restaurants around this cluster. And then we'll book a date night, and then we'll eat. And then we'll get done eating, and then we'll go out to the projects, and we'll just go real quick. And since we're in the area, it doesn't take us very long. And if I have to screw a bulb in or something like that, who cares? I got the little giant, let's do it. If I got to glue something, let's do it. And most of the time, because Chelsea works in the business, she's like, I get dinner, and then we get to hang out, riding around, talking, listening to music and stuff, and then eating some snacks or whatever in the truck, and we get to take care of business. And then you get to come home. And it's more well-rounded. And that's what I mean by like the balance in the season.
That's the balance. That's when you have family balance for the first time in a minute. It's like,
but it's only in like after you're done installing. So it's only in like December time, really, that we do that stuff.
No, we're talking about December 15th, when the Christmas pretty much slows down. It's not dead, but it's pretty much slowed down till December 24th. That's your time. There is this little anvil that's getting closer and closer. You have to take down 500 houses. There is that, but you have like 2 weeks that is your Christmas, with the exception of the little anvil going across.
Yeah, this is like the Acme anvil with like Roadrunner and stuff. And
exactly what I was thinking. I mean, other than that, that is your Christmas, and it is about a 2-week long Christmas.
Do you know when I feel that feeling of that anvil? Is on Christmas Day. When I'm sitting there, we're all opening presents. We open the presents, and then it's like, oh, let's watch, our Christmas movie. Let's do, because we got little traditions and stuff.
Sure.
And it's like, like Chelsea does sausage balls. They're actually, I do not.
Boudin?
No, not Boudin. It's a sausage biscuits. Sorry.
Our kids leave out tacos and tequila shots for Santa.
Hell yeah!
I swear.
Jose Cuervo.
I was talking to Papa Noel, Santa Claus for you, don't speak Spanish. And he said he wants tacos and tequila shots. They're like, okay. And then they have it out there. The Santa drank half the tequila shot. It's a whole cute thing. Yeah.
Santa drank all the tequila.
He tripped into the trash can. The whole thing.
He found the fifth of the bottle.
Yeah, Jay's a damn drunk. Yeah, absolutely.
The bottle's outside. There's glitter. Yeah. There's reindeer glitter around
it. The reindeer stepped on the Jack Daniels. Yeah.
Blitzen will be blitzing because blitz
for sure. But anyway, your tradition. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. That's how me and Ron do it.
On Christmas Day, that's the day.
It's sausage balls and coffee. I need my latte and I need those sausage balls, and then I will open presents. I do not open anything or do anything without it. And so when the presents get open, I got my first sausage ball and my coffee's almost done.
We're talking about a shitload of presents, right? I mean, if you have your bank account, there's like the whole room's full of presents, or what? How's that work?
I say no to everything, and then everything shows up, you know?
Yeah, like you got overruled.
Yeah, I'm like, how much was that? You know, like I don't like splurging like that. I think, you know, some good impactful gifts and then a couple other little fun gifts, and that's like, you don't need, you guys get spoiled all year long. This is not like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. He's like, I got my golden ticket. It's like, you get chocolate every day. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I've wanted a pair of shoes all year, and I finally got one, and now I'm not bare. Like, you have every fucking thing.
Which I'm very grateful for that we don't have to. If they need shoes, we just go. I'm not like, wait for your birthday. You know, that's how I grew up. You know,
exactly.
It's like, you got a birthday coming up. Shut up. And it's like,
if you make the football team, then we'll buy you some cleats.
But
it's
then
like,
your birthday,
my school shoes.
I know, right? But then your birthday's so close to Christmas, they're like, we're just gonna group it together, and you're like, oh no, you know, like they get an August birthday and they get Christmas.
Yeah,
it's
you
like,
broke ass. Get a ladder and start installing some Christmas lights. So I'm saying, buy me something real.
Yeah, we keep getting off topic with these stories.
I'm sorry.
It's this anvil that hits. It's like, oh, what did I just put out into the world? Because I got to pick all that back up. And then it's like how you get paid for it and all that stuff. It's most of the money's fronted. And so then it's like you see your bank account and it's like, well, really nothing's going to be added to this dang thing. I got to really go take all this stuff down. And we just don't have it that way because it's a lot of commercial and they'll end up paying it before the fiscal year's done. And which is great for accounting and stuff. So I'm not complaining. But what it is that, man, that feeling of like, I have to get it all in. We record broke our takedown, and I didn't even mean to do it. I just was like, let's get it all in. But I think it was January 17th. I think was.
Because you didn't have that freaking light show and all that shit.
Oh, I know. That was a relief. It's like, this is easy. You know, I was worried about all these properties getting down, and it's like we had 13 days to spare. I even reached out to a couple other companies asking if they needed some help. I was like, got plenty of crews, you know, like it's not. So I definitely maybe overestimated the capacity of how fast we could take things down because I had so many other things going on for so many years.
When you take that shit off your plate, it's just like the off season. It feels like you're doing nothing because when you take all the what you really do in season off your plate, it's just like I can run one crew in my sleep, dude.
I could hop on a crew, like let's go roll one, you know, like it's mainly about, you know, building the business with customers and quoting. That's so hard to do because it's your money. There's certain margins in it, and that's why Chelsea runs a lot of it. You know, it's because we try to hire and quote and create a system for it. But holiday lighting's so dynamic. You know what I mean? As far as like quoting, you can create some packages and stuff and kind of get in a ballpark for some but getting into there's no algorithm for this. Is like you have to kind of understand each topic of trees and monuments and grounds, like, and then understand what it is and compile it into a quote. So I've been talking so much, and this is my podcast. I'm supposed to be. You just morphed into the co-host role of like, hey, I'm going to answer a question. Joey's going to.
No, well, everyone was asking that question.
Who's everyone? Who's everyone?
Everyone I talk to, they're talking behind your back to me. Yeah. Okay. No, I'm just joking. Lease versus buy. I tell you what, this is like something. I'm surprised it's not a bigger talking point with tariffs because it really changes the dynamic.
Because there's not a lot of people. No, there's not. I just don't believe there's a lot of people who are leasing. I feel like they maybe have a blend of it, especially in commercial, in residential. But I got to be honest with you, a lot of people.
I didn't even know about it.
Well, a lot of people don't have leased warehouse spaces, if you look at it, or even owned warehouse spaces, but they don't have a lot of storage. Why don't they have a lot of storage? Because they're not holding on to their assets. I just don't. If you took a poll and you said who leases and who buys, and it was a real poll with real honest answers, I got to be honest with you. I just don't see people's warehouses where you're like, I'm $1 million company. How many square footage in $1 million company should that warehouse be? Like there should be at least a close range of like something. And does your business have that? Then you're not $1 million business because you can't literally hold $1 million worth of assets. Like how much square feetage to hold? And so I feel like it is a lot of clients own.
Damn, that's a great point.
I think a lot of clients own their lights. I think if people do store it, there's also that blend of they own their light, or they own their lights and we store them and we charge a storage fee. Okay, so it's basically like the lease model, but you don't own the assets. Like, what's the difference?
Oh, dude, it's, you know, I think a lot of people, they're scared to tell the customer that it's a lease for some strange reason when the customers are perfectly okay with it. They see the value in leasing. They've leased the car, or they understand leasing, and they know that going in the attic and all that. I mean, they understand it, but the people are just scared to say it, and they just know they don't have the space. They don't say, well, a storage unit, like a one costs $1,200 for the year, like a reasonably priced, you know, storage unit that's safe, you know. And then you're like, well, if I charged every customer, my 60 customers I do, you know, $10 or whatever it is, $20 more, that would pay for the whole storage unit for the whole entire year. But no one even, I didn't even realize this was even a thing because I'd never been to a training before in my life until I went to Transworld. Like I'm meeting people who are leasing. I mean, I've done it a couple times, but then it was like, I'm meeting people who are leasing. They're like, yeah, I used to sell too. And here's how I converted. That was a game changer. I finally sold myself on, why are you buying? Why are you taking 100,000 when you do your taxes, 300, 400, whatever you grow your business to? Why are you taking $400,000 and just throwing it away and not, when you could collect it back just as easy? Why are you doing that? It's like,
the only thing,
good question.
The only thing,
I don't know.
The only thing is warehouse space and putting your terms and conditions that it's leased. Like, have other things behind what a lease makes, you know. Don't just say this is lease and have no context behind it, but you can find warehouse space, and then the customer is, you just set the terms and conditions. That's the only difference. And so, like you were saying that you didn't lease, you sold, and then you went to Transworld, and then people are saying they did this, and it kind of built up your confidence to be like, well, this isn't a taboo thing.
Well, I heard about it, but you're not meeting someone. I mean, you hear people who don't do it, but they teach, and you're like, I can't trust you because you actually don't do it.
Yeah.
But you know, but when you actually meet people who are living the same life, it's like a unicorn in the Christmas business, like meeting another person who does what you do, like you do. But you hear them say, no, we lease, and these are the reasons why, and you listen to those reasons, and you're like, that makes perfect sense. I can't believe I've heard about it, but it's not clicking until you actually meet someone in person.
Yeah, that networking side, I think, helps a lot. And that's why, like, even times with these tariffs, the networking, even this podcast, why it's even more to get on this and discuss these things is because there is things to discuss here. This isn't just like a gravy 2019 season, and it's like buy lights, and everybody wants to buy lights. Economy's doing great. And it's like, that was very bland. It was a great season. I loved the 2019 season. But it was like, it was just going through the motions. Then here's a bunch of money. There was no drama.
Here's a shitload of money.
And no drama, really.
Yeah.
And, oh, you're running smaller and this and it. So I think with the tariffs and everything, what happens is when you lease that product and you own that asset, now you're even more in control of the market. So like if you own a lease company, you have backstock. What I mean by backstock is used assets of product. And it's like, oh, I have 40 used assets that aren't being used, and they're 48-inch wreaths. Now they're paid off assets. Well, what is a 48-inch wreath if it gets hit by tariffs with the 150%? If it does, what is it now?
That percentage plus.
It's what you charge for it. It's more than that. So like now the materials and costs is more than what you charge as a service for that item in the past. So I can continue as a leasing model with these other wreaths to just start, hey, $500, $500, $500. You can't even buy a wreath for $500. Yeah. And I'm over here just doing $500. I can, again, I won't do that. I'll raise based on the economic impact, my pricing, but I can still beat you any which way, whether it's on my service or pricing, because I have the asset. And I saw this with a company in a city bid, and it was a very big bid. And I was like, how the heck is he able to lease that asset at that price? I can't even buy it for that, like not even close. And it's because he owned that asset, and I saw that. And so I was like, I leased from the beginning. I came up with the idea, and then I found out, like you did, was like, damn, people really do that. I thought came up with a really taboo.
Oh my God, you're like 10 times ahead of me. I didn't even cross my mind to lease it.
I told the fire department people I'm doing it like this. They're like, that's dumb. And I'm like, I don't think so. And so I own the product. What's so dumb about owning the product? And they're like, well, you're going to have to like replace the bulbs. And I'm like, there's so much more. What are you guys talking
You're
about?
doing that shit anyway. If they own the light,
they're doing it anyway.
If you go out there to replace them, you're like, oh, these 3 bulbs don't work, and you replace them, or we need a couple more males and females in lamp cord. It's like, you're going to do that anyway.
And they own the lights, and you do it, and then you don't ask for any money, even though they own the light, and you're like,
because it's too busy.
We just take care of our customers, and we get enough money, and our customers like us, so we just take care of them. That's the lease model. It's just you don't store it, and you don't say lease on your terms and conditions, but you're doing the exact same thing, and then you don't get any assets. And then it comes in a time where people talk about business and about like, oh, these guys who are doing like $4 a foot, they're not going to be around. Like, it's not sustainable business. If you have the lease model, tariffs hit, you are more of a sustainable business.
Oh yeah.
So now there goes into the like discussion, lease versus buy. Which one is more sustainable in a downturn economy?
You might have to hang on to that shit because you paid so. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I think it's going to be fixed and it's not going to be an issue. We'll look back at this and laugh about it. But assuming, unless worst case scenario, it's not, we'll play that one out. If you're paying 100% more or twice as much for the same exact products, you're going to want to hang on to it and maybe even have to hang on to it to get your money back over the course of the lifespan of the product. Over the course of the years that it lasts. It may take you the first year, you're not making nothing. You start making it on the second year and third year. I mean, that would be the worst case scenario, but leasing would be the only way to recoup that,
It's the only way to protect and keep a sustainable business in that type of tariffs and bad downturn economies with like, hiring and like, what's the unemployment rate? Like all these things are we're in a very weird spot as Americans right now. Very, very weird. It's a very awkward spot that we're in nationally wise. And what that happens is that international is going to get bled onto the national, and then it's going to get domestic, then it's going to go local, and then it's going to get in your communities, and then you're going to start seeing it, right? So like what if these tariffs do hold, and I don't like to get political. I just like to talk about economics more than politics so much, but it's like if these tariffs hold, what does the commercial side or the residential side of Christmas lights look like with somebody who owns assets already in their market space? So as long as these tariffs keep holding, who in your market leases Christmas lights? And then can they beat you out on service alone? Yes. Could they beat you now also on price? You can't even undercut the lease people. You can't undercut them. It's impossible
because they're doing a labor only.
They're doing labor only. So you're screwed as far as trying to be competitive. And so it's the people who built the groundwork, spent many years doing this already, building up for this type of thing to even happen and make themselves sustainable. The thing with Murphy Christmas Lighting is I truly believe we are sustainable over long periods of time. We've taken on risk. We've not won. We have won. It's gone up and down, roller coasters of things. And then are we able to scale is the other thing. That's what's really hard in business is to scale. It's not even to sustain like a 1-2 truck thing.
Well, it's easy to scale the first year because you do 30 houses, then you do 60.
Yeah, but you're starting from zero.
I doubled, no shit, from 30 to 60.
Never talk to me about amount of properties. I don't like it. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I can even talk about the price. Don't talk to me about amount of properties. I don't understand where your business is at or like anything about your business with them.
Yeah. And I don't want to hear how much you got gross because that doesn't mean a fucking thing
either. It's just,
I want to hear net what you told the tax man because I already know that shit was less than 40 grand, right?
Yeah. What is it? Like your 1089S or something like your personal, like show me that page where you signed with it at the top.
That's what you made. Bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, we made 1.6 last year. Show me the IRS tax form.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah,
we did 600 properties.
Like a home loan person.
Yeah, we did 600 properties last year cash, and it's like,
yeah, right.
Okay, I guess you don't show me the IRS stuff because it's not accurate. You know what I mean? Maybe you're telling the truth now, but it's properties don't say anything. You know what I mean? And but the one thing is that we were talking about is the lease versus buy, and that in a sustainability, I believe Murphy Christmas Lighting is there because we do lease, and then we're able to take on different types of risks, or we're able to attack the market a little bit differently. I think these are things. If you're listening to this, is you should consider these things, because there's other things that come with it, and there's pros and cons to both sides, and you can make money on both sides. But I think who's going to really
what's the pros and cons
of each side?
Well, in my opinion, if you're selling it to the customer, the pro is definitely, it's their problem. It's their lights. I mean, we do a $75 extended warranty for every customer for the little bullshit.
But even when you say each one, though, I want to pick each one apart, because sometimes a pro, you're saying there's also a con to the pro. But
what I'm saying is the pro. I was just saying that how I got past one of the cons, but the pro is, if all the materials for those customers are already at those houses, logistically, it's easy. If you have 10 crews, go by this house. As soon as you're done, let me know, and then go by this house, because the materials are already on the front porch. Oh, I got to go home for something. Then you're like, okay, I don't need you to meet up with someone to give you this bin. I can just send someone else there, or I can send anyone there. That, logistically speaking, the materials are already there. You don't have to do that. And that's a huge part, and it's a huge pro for the selling versus lease.
Not unless you show up to the property and they didn't set their lights out.
But a con of that one is, you're having to communicate with them, and can you please set your lights out, when really in my schedule, I'm very busy. I'm putting it up there. I'm bringing the lights. I just need to let you know that I'm coming. But the logistics of bringing the materials out there versus not having to, that's a huge pro, in my opinion.
I see it. I don't see it as a pro. I see, if it's there, all the equipment's on site of how you did it last year, and you don't have to transport that. I get that. But color changes go into a thing is now you're doing color changes on site. If they didn't put the bin out, because I acquisitioned a couple different companies, they own the lights. We try to convert some people to lease. We did most of them. I don't have any of these clients anymore, but we ended up losing a couple, but then we gained more money by the leasing. And so we did have a couple that were like, these are still pretty good, let's not lose them. But they're just not leased. And we kind of did a little hybrid thing there for a while. And I messaged them, they still didn't put their lights out. And then I'm like, this is so dumb, because we could just be in control of the product. We can color change in August, July, August, when you're doing your little approvals, and we can offer
when
that.
you're sitting around doing nothing in your full-time Christmas business, because it's not Christmas yet. You're like, I'm doing nothing.
But these guys are prepping on site. They're doing color changes on site. We're not doing that. And so we're making up the time in a time that can be made up, where we're not bringing in money. And so that's the thing, is you bring in money during a certain time, but doesn't mean you can't save money in the off season. And that's what we really do, is we try to save as much, systematize it and everything. So when you say it's a pro for these things, I think the people that are selling the lights say that's a pro. I think people that are leasing the lights say that's a con, because they want to be able to be in full control of the supplies at all times, test the lights in the warehouse, get a package, put a label on it, ready to go, and then save that money in season, versus it just being nice that it's there and you could just roll up in a pickup truck with a ladder. Yeah, you don't have to have a trailer.
And it's easier to sell the customer when you tell them you're buying it.
Well, I've never done that type of sale.
You're buying it, and it is an easier sell on a client, because that just makes sense.
But I don't.
Am I right about that?
I've never sold that way, though.
I know, but you have to agree that it's those two things are both true.
You can tell the client that they have an asset. Yeah,
it's easier to sell. I mean, I know the other side of the fence now, but I'm saying at the time, that reasoning, if that's how you think, I agree with you. I thought just like that.
There's a few people where we hit them with a high bill or whatever, and they're kind of like, well, that's too high. And I'm like, well, take something out then. I'm really pushing it for you already. But they're like, well, I don't even own all these things, and I don't know if I can justify spending 10 grand and I don't own anything. And so then it goes into like, well, okay, what is materials? What would labor be? I don't entertain any of that. I'm just like, if you don't want our service, but this is our service, I have to stick to our business model. And 99% of the time, they say yes. You know what I mean? For me, but
you don't tell them about it's that price this year, but next year it's going to be, a lower price or whatever.
For residentials, we do a continued client discount. We do give them a little discount on their second year to just keep doing business with us. And for the most part, guys can still come in and do the job and get materials and still beat us, even with our discount. But if we lose a customer because of that, those guys aren't making hardly anything.
I know.
And so if they're going to take that, most of the guys who do take that, that customer comes back a year or two later and says, I know that I own these lights, but now they gave me these lights that are like filament bulbs. I can't find replacements for them. They said I got to replace my plugs or something. Oh, the green wires chew through, and they said that they have to buy more zip wire.
Yeah,
and
it had nothing to do with the dog or the squirrel. It was just the way you took it down, I guess.
and they're like, look there's like all-in-one clips, and I got clips in my gutters, and it's clogging my gutters, and I paid the guy to unclog it. And now, like, there's clips in my. It's just your service was way better. Whatever that was, I don't want to have to deal with these 50 different problems with my project and answer to these. I just wanted to get done and me sign it. And let's go back to that. Can we go back? I'm like, yeah, we can go back to that. But inflation hit, and it's going to be 10% more because it is 10% more. You know what I mean? So that's just the business model. And so what you're saying is the pros and cons of lease versus buy, and it's easier to sell that way. I can maybe see your point, but I've just never done it that way.
Well, so I'm not making that point. I'm saying if you think like that, I understand, because I did think like that before. But since I've made the transition and seen the light, your buddy has seen the light. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I said, thank you, Jesus. I've seen the light. But right now, and I'm pretty sure you feel the same, is I just have to buy like this much stuff, maybe less than $20,000 worth of stuff. And I could do the whole entire season without buying a damn thing because I already own it all. I don't need to buy anything. I could go I have like 200,000 feet of 180, something like that, of existing product. And I could beat everyone's price. You want to do $3 a foot? I could do $3 a foot for brand new materials for a new lease customer with stuff I already have. It's only a year old. I mean, I could operate my business regardless of what the prices of materials are if I wanted to. And that's a great position to be in, number one. And number two, when you start buying real estate, I'm so grateful that I own the house and this other garage and a guest house. And then now I've got a big commercial building. I got 4 commercial buildings. I was like, I cannot fucking believe I own this. It's so awesome. But I mean, when you have all of these assets, man, it really increases the value of your business. If you have like $1 million worth of customers but zero inventory, how is your business worth $1 million? Because if you stop servicing them, they're just going to go somewhere else. I don't need to buy your leads is really what you're doing, and your process. I probably don't agree with, but when you have that $200,000 or $300,000 or $400,000 worth of inventory, it has depreciated. But that is really a key factor in the value of your business is that inventory. That is something I didn't know, but I do know like gospel today. Yeah.
No, it's even in that inventory is, like you talk about like we call it new install or an old install, and an old install is just a second year or older, right? It's the line's already been cut. And I think about it and I'm like, man, what if all of our residentials just like went up in smoke or something like that? It's like, do you know how much money would be lost if I had to recut all that, even if I had the materials on hand and they were paid for it? Just even recutting it is because old installs, the profit per man hour is a lot higher because they just literally rehang. They're not cutting, they're not putting plugs on. That slows people down.
But somehow they use like 4 bags of males and 3 bags of females and 2 rolls of lamp cord when all this shit was already pre-cut. You're like, what?
Yeah, one bag of plugs is up in the gutter. A bag of clips is in the bush. Like, where are all these things that when you come back? Like, why are glue sticks on the front porch? Like a whole box of them.
Yeah. Here's a rule of thumb. You ready? This is the pro tip from your buddy Ron. If you put a male on, there's a very good chance you need to take a male off somewhere else. If you had to put one on somewhere in that line, there's a male that needs to be removed. I'm pretty sure of it. Or else you have a hot male somewhere. Am I right?
I don't know. The one plug came in the game and that may change.
But I'm saying before that, if you put a male on, more than likely there's another male somewhere else because it was working last year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the thing. Is like people are like, it doesn't look like it fits. And I'm like, okay, number one, are you at the right house? And they're like, oh, 936 dandelion. I thought it was 936 hollyhock. And no, dandelion, bro. Get in the right area. And it's
our training video, the very step number 1, make sure you're at the right house. And people are like, oh my God, that's so stupid. I'm like, you just don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Dude, I've had so many people.
Google takes you to the middle of the street if it doesn't recognize the address, especially in newer neighborhoods. So they'll follow the blue line. The blue line takes them to the house that's in the middle of the street instead of down there on the right where it actually is. And they'll say, oh, I'm here. And you're like,
Well, that's why,
already
you
done
know,
with the install. You're like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, ma'am. Do you want Christmas lights? I know they're already installed, but do you want them? Or
yeah, they're
wanna
like,
make a
fuck.
deal?
They all say no because they know you're just going to be like, screw it. I'll leave it. Merry Christmas, you know?
I sold one of them.
Did you?
Yeah.
What were you talking about? Is
Lease versus buy. Yeah.
well, no, you were talking about something else. The location. Did you know Jobber? You can move the waypoints and everything in Jobber now.
The
So,
waypoint.
like, yeah, you can put an address in it. If it's not the right address, you can move the waypoint to be on the right address. Just so you know, I don't know if you knew that.
Really?
Yeah. So like we do it with property management companies.
You mean when it automatically populates the address when you type them in? But if not, you can put here's where it actually is.
Yeah, you could say adjust map pin.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, because we had property managers that wanted to be invoiced and it had their headquarters like on it, and they had to have the headquarters put on it. But when you go into Jobber, is like the headquarters is like downtown Dallas or something.
Yeah.
And it's not the HOA that you need to be at. So we move the waypoint to where the HOA is. And then
I see.
From there, we have our My Maps, where it spiders out and goes further.
That's a whole nother conversation, next level, dude.
A whole nother beast.
No, I know what you're talking about, but when you were telling me that last year, I was like, dude, you're on a whole nother level. And then now the Jobber with the estimate templates.
Yeah, the templates, advanced quoting, like you can really put a proposal together.
The Jobber marketing, like basically, not to give away all the cookies out of the cookie jar, but you do all your estimates like July and August and whatever. And then October 1st, anyone who has not said yes and approved yet, but they've received a quote in the last 12 months, send them this. That's something that was almost impossible when you had some kind of a mass emailing, because it was like trying to figure out which ones has already said yes and which ones hasn't. Jobber, man, has made life super easy.
Yeah,
to get better and better, dude.
The marketing side, they opened up a couple more things, but it was about like quotes that haven't converted yet. So awaiting response. And you could just do a marketing campaign on that. Be like, it's not too late to book your project, and it's like log into your Jobber client hub and pay your deposit, and you can just send that out.
No, I'm talking about October 1st. Like,
I'm saying the marketing aspect is that you can tailor it to like how the process of the pipeline, your pipe drive or whatever, of like your quoting and like, oh, I want to revisit clients from the past that haven't booked in over 6 months. I want to it's pulling data from your CRM and compiling clients of who they are so you can target and market to those type of clients. But like you said, if they haven't booked, it's a quote awaiting response. So all quotes awaiting response, I want to send out this on October 1st. And
then all of a sudden 600, 700 quotes just get reminded. Boom.
Right.
And then you're like, whoa, shit, season just started.
But that's not even the reminders that are built into it. It's literally like a marketing campaign on top of the reminders to remind them. And they're like, man, yes, I've got to do this. Let me book it. And then you can move the needle a little further. So, I mean, I like it. It works for us. I know it works for you. I know people use other systems and they got other things going and it all works. But I got to say the progression that Jobber has done in the past, just even year and a half, has been.
With the tags.
Send
it to everyone who's on the schedule, but they don't have wreath or greenery.
Yeah.
Then you're like, hey guys, have you thought about this new wreath? But you're talking to the actual customers that need to see it before with the mass email service. You're not adjusting that mass email service list as your Jobber approves them. Jobber does it, and that marketing thing, that was a damn game changer too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we pay for that.
It was only $10 a month.
Well, when you do the
referral
stuff, we referred and we got a bunch of people last year. I've never really pushed it, and then we started pushing it. But then Jobber, all the add-ons, the marketing, the reviews is like it doesn't pay for that stuff, so they still bill me for that. But I mean, it's pennies compared to the actual subscription. They're taking off the highest bill by far, and which is the main subscription, which is like $380 a month or something.
How many people joined Jobber because you recommended? I did. How many people joined Jobber because you recommended them?
We have 16, I think, right now.
16. Yeah, it's like
I gotta be honest with you.
Jobber, it's free.
We probably got 12 last year, and each one of those, like, we didn't have many. I wouldn't say maybe 10.
You will now with your podcast for sure.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But if you look at that, they gave you 3 months free, and then they gave the guy who signed up 3 months free. So if you do 10 of them, that's 30 months. I'm not paying for Jobber for like 3 years. You know what I mean?
And
like,
it's great. It's like $2,300 a month, a year. It's like $2,800 a year. But I don't even think of that 1 second. That is I don't think like, oh my God, it's $200 and some dollars a month.
No, it runs my business.
I don't even think about that. That doesn't even register.
It's a great employee of mine, is what it is. It's like that's nothing compared to what my business generates. Like when you look at it, it's like, well, how big is your business, and then how much storage? I know there was like a something that went online. It probably is still there, but it has this like rule of thumb of what your business should have based on what industry you are. And like if you lease Christmas lights and you're $1 million, as a rule of thumb, maybe 10% should be your storage. Like on a budgetary aspect, you know what I mean? It's like 10% is okay. If you're like 20%, you're actually like not doing like what other people do to keep their overhead down. Labor in $1 million business, what is profit versus man hour, right? We talk about is like, well, what is a rule of thumb with $1 million business is how much labor should you have? Should it be 15%? So storage 10%, 15% labor. So 25%. Like what are the percentages of rules of thumbs that you should kind of maybe go off if you have a leasing holiday lighting business? Like what's acceptable? And then because nobody wants to talk about net, nobody wants to talk about profit per man, but I think we can
I do. I want to talk about it right now.
I know you do, but how do you get everybody else to be like, well, we sell lights, so we have no overhead, but we have literally 20% labor and you have 15 because we're prepping stuff on site because the client owns their stuff.
I see.
Right? Like what are your percentages based on the model you have? You have less warehouse space, maybe even beat me by 6 figures, but you don't generate enough business to offset. My business is justified with the expense because of how big it is, but is that too much? Like one thing with Lights at Wholesale, Dustin, he's pretty good at warehouse space because he has a pallet racking business and stuff. And he's like, crunch it. And I'm like, but I won't have any room to like build displays. And he's like, crunch it. And then I started looking at, well, how hard can I crunch it? And all these things. And that's where you talk about like working with another person. How is it going? And it's like, well, they give you different perspectives of how they see things. Then just run it. Just entertain it. Is this going to be better? And we added 43 20-foot uprights to my warehouse. 43.
Wow. That's a lot.
43, man. A 20-foot pallet racking uprights. And then there was beams and grates on top of that. And it's like, how did you even have the capacity to add that? And it's like, well, we are doing this now. We're doing this now. I got rid of the idea of this and I shaved this off. And now we're actually the usable square footage space in our warehouse just improved a lot more because I was so dead set on this one item that I cannot do this without this one item. And they're like, why are you so dead set on this one item? Well, you can just get this item. And I'm like, but that item's $100,000. I don't want to have that expense in my business. Well, if your business can justify it, you can get this type of lift. You can crunch it in tighter. You can get more usable square footage and have better overhead.
And be way more organized with more space.
But you can't because you're a growing business and I can't chalk up the 100, or I don't want to, at least right now, right? Like it's just a huge expense I don't want to add onto my business. And then I'm not shipping out enough to justify that or whatever, right? And so I think when you're able to maximize your warehouse space, then it's like, well, what percentage is it now? And it's like, well, it's usable. So now we can actually expand and not get into more space because we went vertical with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
So I think what are the rules of thumbs within the holiday lighting business, percentage wise, with a leased model? Because I would like to focus there, but I would love to see what people have with like a sale model of what that is. And you can't, like, you have to say you're gross. You can't fluff these numbers because then you're like, well, I do $500,000 leased. Okay, show me your $500,000 leased warehouse space and how much that costs and how much is usable based on your current warehouse space and how much is used. Like how much can you go into and is it the best design?
Yeah, if someone were to buy your business, they're not buying it 3 times your net. I mean, your gross. They're not. But
if you built that pallet racking out, if you built that thing, you built it by design to have like really low overhead and it's an established business, that is worth 3 times. Because the planning, the setting things up, the integrations of systems, how you store things within that space, how the stacker works and how it's electric and there's no propane, and oh, here's the plug for it. It's a special plug, and you put that plug in. It's all these things a business doesn't have to do to get jump started automatically, soak you up, and just get running again. Is if you have they may have better systems than you, so your systems may be dog shit. You know what I mean? And then that's not worth any money to them.
Well, I would say dog shit.
But well, it's historical data is all it is. But then they have to take that historical data and then plug it into their system. You know, I
got something to share with you, and this is like straight. This is not dusted house. This is just straight redneck Ron Robey type stuff. The definition of success. I used to do this when I used to do door-to-door sales. I was a district manager. If you said, hey, write down on a piece of paper your definition of success, and then everyone shared it, everyone would have a different definition of success. But mine, when I look at the Christmas business, there's only a few things I focus on success when it comes to financial. I look at my bank account before the season starts. And then I look at my bank account right around Christmas time, when pretty much anything that's going in there is going in there, and then look at my bank account after takedown and any kind of things that might happen with that, and then taxes, and then what does the bank account look like after, and then before the season starts and after. Those are the only ways that I really gauge it, because there's so many different things you can dissect it and find out if you're making money or not. But what is it before and what is it after it's all said and done? What did it go to, and then what did it drop to when you take the lights down and do your taxes? Those are the numbers that I mainly focus on, just as an overall view of success. What about you?
I would say I do as well. There's that.
Sorry for asking the questions on your podcast.
Yeah, no, it's
you son of a bitch. Yeah,
you just can't help it, can you? Right?
I know he's your control freak.
No, you bring up some good topics. So the very end one is like after taxes. It talks about that term EBITDA. The EBITDA, and it's earnings before interest, taxes, and amortization. So it's pretty much like what you boiled it down, and you're left with this. Okay.
Yeah, man. It's not like, well, we went out to eat all these times, and we bought this for Christmas, and we still paid the house payment, and we paid the car payments, and we still had living expenses, and there was all these other factors that we actually made that money. You can't discount that you paid all your bills and all these things, but I don't even pay attention to none of that. Financial freedom. It's just, what was it before? What was it at Christmas? What was it after takedown? And what did it go to after taxes?
Yeah. I think those are the most pivotal times, because the other thing is you're so busy that you're really not looking at all your accounting stuff at all times. You're completing invoices and you're letting it run like hardcore. But unless you, like, I have a monthly meeting with my CPA, and I try to get everything every month like lined out. But in the Christmas
during Christmas,
even in Christmas, we meet for an hour on the phone, and which there's processes we have with automation to like do things, but a lot of times is I'm purchasing things, and he's like, so what was this $150,000 purchase over here? And it's like it's not somewhere where you bought from before, and I don't know what it exactly means, because some of these merchant accounts these vendors have, they come over and they don't really say. It'll be like just something like. Even if it was like S4, I'm not saying S4 is like this, but it wouldn't say S4. It would have like their umbrella corporation or something of their processing merchant system that would come across, and it would say something like, not even lighting or anything. It would just say something weird. Like,
holiday solutions.
Not even holiday, because he would be like, seems like materials and supplies. No, it'd be something like construction group or something, and it's a conglomerate of this big
and it's just whatever it is, when you read it, you don't think Christmas lights.
No. And so he's like, I'm kind of stumped on this one. I just know you're burning and turning. So the whole point is, like, with these time marks, is I do the same thing. Is I kind of, you get to that pause moment. What are our invoices in Jobber, like the balances? Okay, we have this projected income coming in of unpaid balances. This is what's hit my bank account. Nothing's pending, right? Because there's transactions, and then there's.
Does anyone else owe us any other checks? And then as soon as you have all that done, thank God, credit card on file. If you're not doing that, you need to. But everything is hit the bank. This is the total number, or this plus these other three things I'm still waiting on for some HOA or whatever. But you're like, that's the total number, and you're like, that's a good time. It really is.
Well, even in the Christmas lighting, is you grew. And then especially like you have to really decide if you need more space to store all this stuff and how you're going to store it. Like we really leaned into cardboard versus like totes and other things for our greenery and other items. Not Gaylord boxes like we did, just regular cardboard boxes, very large ones. But anyways, we decided to do something, but I had to like do the takedown schedule after, once everything kind of settles and everything. And then you have to start making labels and organizing things and getting the boxes in. Like you have to ship these boxes in wholesale. And it's like, well, what box sizes do we need? And like, do I have enough boxes? And it's like, I think this is enough. But to psychoanalyze and get to the minute, it's like, okay, I'll order this. And if we run out, I'll just order a little bit more. And once we get low, I need to know, and so it's like all these times is you're also stopping, but then you're reassessing for the next thing and the next thing. Even right now, the best time I am most relaxed financially is in season. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because it should be.
It's like, babe, do you want to get HBO? I really want to watch this show, but it's $15 a month, and you're like,
screw it.
I don't give a shit, because as soon as I do my taxes, I go through and just comb through every expense and cancel every damn thing I don't need. I get real lean.
Yeah.
But during that time, I could care less.
But she's like, I don't feel like cooking. Let's go eat out. And you're like, order some food. It's whatever, because you're going through things. But at the same time, like I'm most comfortable with money during that time because it's going in and out. It's the times like these where you can sit and then do your quotes. Like we just did all residential and commercial. We're done with like the draft quotes. We're not launching them or anything. We've already booked like some cities and stuff like that. But like the HOAs and stuff, it comes a little bit later than right now. Right now you get them in, but no HOA really wants to.
They're not approving and paying right now.
Yeah.
Most of them at least.
No, they'll do it in July. And stuff.
But when they approve it, it's as good as paid.
Yeah. And that's usually July for us, but it's so what was I saying? It was
you were going to tell me the definition of success, and you got off on something about taking down lights or something. I'm like, how do you define? Because I know you, dude, and I know that bank account is swole as a motherfucker, dude, during Christmas.
It's
but
money.
You always act like you broke, and so I'm like, I don't get it. I'm just trying to figure, like, I don't get it.
It's because
what is your definition of success?
Well, it's not money. It's not money at all. It's like a lot of times I feel this way too. It's because I'm moving a lot of money around. So the bank account is always super liquid. It's not like if people are on a budget for like fixed income, it's very easy to manage that money. When you're an entrepreneur and you're just swinging things, like I could literally in a month, I could get $100,000 more of business. And then it's literally $50,000 more in assets, or $60,000, $70,000 more in assets. And then I have to store those assets. And then I'm like, okay, well, I have to buy it now and before these tariffs. Oh, it's domestic. Let's grab that. Let's get it. So my bank account is always like diving and going like this and diving and going like this. And it's like, to get a real true gauge of it, that's where you need an accountant. You need a CPA. You need a bookkeeper.
So you don't gauge a successful, financially speaking, you don't gauge a successful season by going, holy shit, I got $600,000 in the bank. I've never seen that before. I mean, my whole life growing up being broke, I've never, ever, ever, ever even thought about seeing my bank account when I'm opening up Chase and I'm looking at this bank account. I never, ever thought ever I would ever see a number like this. You don't look at that kind of stuff and gauge that on success? No?
I think it's a form to gauge, like, I don't even know if it's your success, but like your progression. But it's
But you don't think like you have to go like start doing a 9-to-5 somewhere? No.
Like I even asked somebody who bought lights from us. I'm like, do you think I could ever go to like a 9-to-5 job? And they're like, no, you're past that. Like,
you're doing it, dude. It's like, wow.
I'm not doing it. I am doing a job that's not 9-to-5 though. I'm talking about like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have enough money, dude. You could do what I do 100%, 5,000.
Yeah. But it's about, again, what is success, and to inject myself into an organization, help scale and build everybody around me, and being able to be effective at that. I haven't done that yet. So if I can do that, I'll view that as success. If how will you know you're successful with that? You have parameters, KPIs, and like, oh, well, look, we gained the company this much more money, so therefore we are successful. When I've done business for this long, success to me is that if I can wake up in the morning, love what I do, go into work, and I'm not stressed. I'm talking about being stressed is like not anxiety and stress of like your own self, but stress because real problems exist and you don't have containment of those problems. That's not fun. That's what a lot of people's Christmas lighting business is. It's just running and gunning in a bunch of chaos. And I don't like that. I like it to come in and I like things to flow. I like everybody to have a good time. And then the other thing is to be super organized. I've had it many years where I injected people in my business and it was just a mess. We spent all year just cleaning for many years. And I hated that. And so right now, like our warehouses are super organized. I'm able to hop in an organization and build up the team. And I know I can be a team player like that. I also have my own thing where I can also see all those people in the warehouse moving and know that I created that. And I built this thing like a machine. That is another thing. How much I pay my contractors is another successful thing. How much did I give to other people? And I was trying to limit that number. I'm not like, oh, let me just give all my money to my contractors.
That's how you think. Come on, dude.
It's like if they're happy to come work every year, if we install these projects and I do some badass stuff like that 8-foot bow, I did 2 of them on the same property, custom made. That is success. I'm going into territories or a journey that's like so where people can't even touch these territories. You can create $1 million business off of warm white and wrapping trees. It could be a thing.
100%.
Right. But
100.
Would I be happy in that business? No. I'd be like another mini light, another tree wrap, another slow progression install. No. And it's like the money's there. Great. But I want to be able to like be excited about the projects I'm doing. I want to be excited that I'm trying to integrate the system within an organization that's national. Like that to me is what success is to be able, it's part of the journey is success. But I feel like you're interviewing me again, Ron, and I should be answering. I'm not answering any questions because
we've been talking for 4 hours. You ain't asking me no damn questions.
Because you keep asking and then I keep talking like I'm on your podcast.
You know shit, dude.
Fuck.
I had no idea. I didn't realize me and you are the only 2 in the country really doing it like this, Doc.
And we're trying to be like, you can do it too. You can do it. But
you said 12 people, so whatever.
I do. I mean, I know quite a bit. That
I thought I was the only one in the world who did it like that.
Houston doesn't have a couple people that do it full time. They've got to.
They have to. Oh, I know. The Bright Lights Houston and whatever. That's all he does. If you had to do it all over again, would you? I mean, I feel like the selling lights. I'm saying if you did it all over again, would you do the selling lights? But I just feel like I'm already buying the lights and I have no idea because once it gets so big, you don't tell me exactly how many bulbs are you going to use this season. Like, how the hell am I supposed to know that shit? So you're thinking maybe I need this much, but let me just add a little bit more because I ain't trying to pay inflated prices in season.
I think the margins are tough and they don't translate with the insulation to distribution. That's one thing I learned is that it's not so much about the pricing. It really isn't. Like with distributing myself, other companies and lights at wholesale, and you see how much people purchase things for. Why are people purchasing it for these prices? And I got to tell you, man, it's customer service and it's responsiveness, and that is the pinnacle of what makes a company great. Is how fast they can really do real business with other people. It's amazing. It will separate you. You're like, I need to do this marketing for me to get this much more money. No, you need to pick up the phone. You need to answer the phone. You need to talk to people. You need to align relationships. That is what moves the needle. They're like, oh, I need to create a banner for my website. That doesn't move the needle. Okay. It doesn't get all the orders where it gets every day people are ordering from you because, oh, they love your banner on your website. It doesn't. No, that's not what brings in the sales and everything. Does it impact it? Yeah. But you're talking like such a small percentage compared to what you really need to do to move the needle. And that's what I've come to learn is that lights at wholesale, everything else, even what we're doing Murphy Christmas light, when are we the most successful is when we do customer service. I've been going and finding new things online with social media. And there's one guy, he's in Canada. It's called Greens and Beans Deli, I think. He's on Instagram, Facebook, everything else. But he got the Meta glasses. And he hops out of his truck and he's got the Canadian accent. He's like, hey, boys, like, where the boys at? And it's like, I can't do a Canadian accent, but it's like.
Sounds good.
Like, yeah. Shut up.
Hey, like, hey, you sound good, eh?
But he does. You could tell he's in Canada, but then he's got these Meta glasses and his family owns this deli and he runs the trucks. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to do this for like another 10 years. And then I'm going to be on a beach and I'm just going to sell shit for free, like for fun or whatever. And he's like, but his personality, and when he hops out the truck, and to make these sales, it's like he literally is like what you want? I got this, and they're like, good, pizza bagel for you, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm gonna put you on the books. Say hi to your mama for me, and it's like, but he has the glasses on, so it looks like you're almost playing a video game of like a deli card or something, But what I love about it is watching his videos. It's like he's super personal, where he knows the books, he knows their names. He has tap to pay. If he don't know you, you tap to pay. But if he knows you, you're on the books, and then, oh, let me pay. Hey, you got kind of a balance going. Oh, let me just pay the $55 that I owe. Thanks for lunch today, and I'll see you tomorrow. But it's that right there, that like American customer service, that like a lot of times I'm doing a lot of remote quoting, a lot of remote work, and I'm not up in my customer's face. When I first started, I was always up in everybody's face because I'm on the job sites. I am doing that type of stuff. And I'm like, how are you doing? How's your dog? Oh, beautiful dog. What's your dog's name? I know your dog's name. I know your kid. I don't know half of our clients like that anymore.
Oh my God, dude. I think I think it was like almost 600 at one year we did. We do somewhere around there, 5 something or other, 550. But one time we did over 600, but I only met like 13 customers in person. Everything else has just been over the phone.
Right.
And then finally meeting them and like, Miss Roberts, oh my God, like run. You're like, holy shit, it's been 5 years. I'm finally meeting you in person.
Dude, we had a customer that I've interacted with a lot. And then Chelsea, literally, I was like, hey, let's roll over here. We got to do this. And she went over there and she's like, I didn't know he looked like that. And I'm like, you've never seen him before? And she's like, he's been our customer for like 5 years. She's like, never met him. And I'm like, it's like, wow. And she's like, I didn't think he looked like that. He's like, he looks a lot better than I thought he was going to look. And
I know.
It's like, he looks like he's very well dressed and put together. And it's just like, I want to get back to a little bit of that, because I feel like that's what makes like home service, customer service based business is the customer service. So like, you should really like, I want to be on the phone with my clients and like contacting them and just talking to them. I love that, like that deli guy, man. He just hops out and he's just all with it all the time. And then he's having a good time. He's loading the truck up and he's like, his mom's inside the deli, running the deli. And his wife runs another truck, by the way. And she's super cool. And it's just like, and he goes there and he's like, you look, it's super hot today. And it's like, he just passes by and he's just having a good time. You could tell it's like, man, you live a good life. You really, and he's just a deli truck driver. But
dude, you need to get meta glasses for the season, dog.
I looked into it.
You're going straight to jail. You can put them things on. I can't believe Joey talked to her like that.
Right. No, it inspires me to like get the glasses. And now they have I
seen Guyman and Chanowski had the damn glasses.
Somebody that I follow. It's somebody who's influential. They put that it's actually they uploaded the update this past week, and it translates into your ear like Spanish and stuff. So they have the Google Translate, but when people are talking to you, it's going to say it in your ear in English.
I heard Mark Zuckerberg, his interview on Joe Rogan, when he was talking about, I've never really listened to him talk, but the dude's freaking super smart, bro. Dude, he was saying that the glasses, he said, you spend all your time connected with the world in this little box, but he said the future won't be like that. You'll put on the glasses and it'll all be out in front of you. It'll be like the screen will be anywhere that you look. And he said that's what the future will be. And it was like, holy shit, man. I mean,
what's that one movie, Nice Guy, or with Ryan Reynolds? Guy,
yeah,
whatever. And he puts on the glasses. He's like, whoa. He's like in a video game. It's like our real world is going to turn into a video game. Okay. You're going to go and be like, I need to get tomato soup or something at the grocery store. And it's going to literally have like arrows pointing in the aisles to say, take a left, go right. It's right here.
Isn't that crazy?
It's going to start glowing and be like, here is your can. And
you have reached your destination. You're like, oh,
by the way, here's a digital coupon for you. Thanks. And it's
exactly.
It's like, that's because it's going to be more efficient. AI is going to be plugged into it. You're going to pass by people and it's going to be like, this person is like a super influential person online. It's going to like make them glow or something, like gold or something. Like there's Taylor Swift. She's worth $1 billion. And it's like,
or just facial recognition. That's Dave. Like I'm terrible with names, but with my glasses, I knew everyone's name. Yeah.
It's like my Minority Report almost. It's like
you're like caller ID, right? Like, how did you know it was me? I'm like, I ain't that smart. I got caller ID.
you see that with Minority Report when they redid it or whatever. I think that's what it's called. And they redid it with Tom Cruise, and they take out his eyeballs, And so he goes in, and then he goes into the store, and they scan his eyeballs, but he got new eyeballs that are Chinaman eyeballs. And so he's like, they scan his eyeballs, and they're like, "Hello, Mr. Wang," and it pulls up a picture of Mr. Wang, and it's not him, but it's scanned his eye. But it's going to be something like that. Like you're going to be able to not even tap and pay a card. Like you're going to be able to like, they're just going to like see your glasses, and it's just going to like, "Oh, thanks for the money," and it's just, no Venmo, no PayPal, none of that. It's just literally like face-to-face transfer of funds, and I think it's gonna be crazy.
He said the glasses that do work, they're so big and they're so expensive that very few people could afford them. The glasses that actually do it are like somewhere $20,000-$30,000 for the pair of glasses, and they're working on it. But the ones that for Meta, it records, but I think it's only 720 resolution. It's not 1080 yet, but that would be cool for streaming for Christmas lights. I would love to have that,
dude. I don't know about you, but even when I research them, I don't think. And I think like one reason why it turned me off was that it was always your phone's always this way, up and down, vertical, not sideways. So like YouTube and stuff, you can't do the 16:9. It's
that drives me crazy.
That's what really kind of turned me off for getting them, because I wanted to do like YouTube and all this other stuff. But really, you can do shorts and you can do reels, and that I think that's really what it's for. Is like when you have those glasses, is it's real live in person. It's not like a production. It's more of like, hey, here I'm like bolting in a tower tree, and I'm hanging from a tower tree, and it's like, another fucking day, and then you're like bolting in, and it's like that's what it's supposed to be. To put them first person, like a first person shooter, it's supposed to put them like first person Christmas lights.
That would be awesome.
But that's why I'm saying I want to show you this guy.
Literally, I'd give it to every single person that works for me, all the crew leaders. And then you'd have GPS coordinates exactly where they are. You can see everything that they see, and you can run it way more efficiently. A little dash that has everyone's glasses on a little dash.
Oh, but that could be where it is. It's like they're doing installs, and you're uploading your eyeglass content.
Live feeds of all the best jobs, exactly how it happened. You can see everything. Like, show me your connections. You can see exactly what they're looking at to see that they're doing it right. It would be great.
Right here is his channel or whatever. He sells Jellos to the toothless wonders. If they don't have enough money to pay their bill, he'll like, here's a thing of Jello, get the hell out of my face. But he never does that. It's like a joke. But let's just like watch that.
So I'm honking for all the companies. I've been actually getting new customers out. They probably have heard the horn and seen the truck 1,000 times, but now that they're seeing it on social media, they're coming out, which is great. So these are the spin-offs. I don't make no money on the social media, but I love to do it, and I love to sell food. What up, y'all? What's up, beautiful? Oh, you're so gorgeous. You know, I love the way you treat me in the morning, man. Fucking gets me fired up. I do chicken, Rodney. I have spicy or regular, sir?
You better have a beef in there.
Do you want beef stew with no beef in it?
I'm not going to keep going because I'll get caught up in it, but it's like, he's like a pizza bagel, and he's like, okay, that's $7.35. And it's like, when there's a line, he's just, dude, he's like, what do you want? What do you want? And it's just like, with Christmas lighting is like, that's how I want to be. I want to be like Christmas lighting. Everybody, what do you want? You want this? $7.75. And it's like, but you can see with the Meta glasses, like the first person, how he hops out of his truck, how he opens it, how he uses both of his hands, and like I hanging stuff on. I don't know why the Meta glasses for holiday lighting is not like a big thing. Like first person, real world.
Well, I don't think anyone really has the. I mean, there's a couple people, but I mean, I don't think this is a thought to capture this and make like a show or something. But it's a damn good idea. At $200 a whack, I mean, I could put 5 of them to use at least for the best crews.
Well, definitely like crew leaders or something like that. Dude, the amount of content you would have at the end of the day is insane. Because why are people stopped from creating content? Because they are too busy working, which is my problem. And then the other thing is they don't have a free hand to like get out the phone, record it and everything else. And then they're sitting there and then they're like, now I got to upload this and do this. It's like, but if you get people, I've never been successful getting people to create content while they work. And this is literally, you just wear glasses, just hit the record button, man. That's all you got to do. And then turn it off, turn it on when you're not using it.
It's got to be connected to your phone somehow that's connected to something that I can see. Yeah.
But I even think if they go and they don't sync that they may even store recording or something. I don't know. I have to look into them because they did update them a little bit. But I think I'm going to get some because I already have these. They're the same ones. The Wayfair.
The Ray-Bans, right?
They're the same ones. It's just they have a glass thing. These are prescriptions, so I'm gonna pop these out, put it in the Meta. Yeah, dude. Give me those Wayfarers.
Yeah. Oh, that's the ones you need?
Well, those are the ones I have. So I have.
Oh, Ray-Bans, yeah. I always wear Maui Jim. My sunglass choice is Maui Jim, the green one for fishing.
Yeah. Well, it says I have the new Wayfarers, the new ones, but
Headliner. Oh, that's crap.
But like how? What I'm
saying, you
is,
get your prescription on it too.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's just the camera's in the side. Like I have prescriptions on these, and I could probably pop these out and put them in there. They're the exact same glasses, so it's the same thing. It's just it's the camera that's on the side. That's what you need. It's not using your actual lenses to record, so I don't think it'd be a problem. But the main thing is the specs of it. Is like when you say that they record at like 720 or something like that. I think it's at least
the last time I looked, maybe it's different. I don't know. That's just been a couple months ago at least.
But at least for what we do and like anchoring displays and like, man, some of the stuff we do, a lot of people that even like ride with me, like I'll have like a friend or a family member or like another business person or something that's right. And I'm like, hey, we have to run over here. You want to hop in the truck? Maybe we could talk in the truck. And then we go do stuff. And they're like, why don't you record yourself? You're rolling with like 3 trailers back to back. Like it's a SWAT team, rolling into these neighborhoods. Why aren't you recording this? Like, I think a lot of people record a lot of content for their business and they're very small. And then
when you record it, you're like, when the hell do you have time to put all these videos together for a production? It's like, after
why aren't the bigger Christmas light companies putting out like amazing content? And it's like, because they're busy working.
Yeah.
That's all it's down to is this is normal. This ain't like, oh, we roll in 3 trucks deep for the first time. We roll 3 trucks deep every day through this neighborhood, and it's like, that's just a normal thing. So they don't want to capture it because they don't think it's special or they can't sympathize with like other people in there. But these guys coming in that are building their companies and everything, they need as much confidence as possible to get off the ground. They don't believe in themselves. I truly believe that is they don't 100% believe in themselves. They tell themselves like, I've never seen this amount of money. I've never been able to, none of my family members have ever owned a business. I don't think I can do business. It's a bunch of excuses. You know what I mean? And so I think with new guys coming out is us creating content as much as humanly possible. Something like the Meta glasses of like, this is real life. This is what I'm doing in my day. I'm not just talking about it. We are about it.
12 megabytes, ultra wide camera for HD photos and video, 2 custom built open ear speakers and custom 5 mic array, 32 gigabyte flash storage, 500 plus photos, 100 plus 30-second videos, and up to 36 hours of battery life. A full charge case, up to 4 hours on a single charge.
What is HD though?
Yeah, well, see, Facebook is capped out at 720. So even if you have a 1080, Facebook is only that's the highest you can go, 720. So that's why it's
what's YouTube?
1080. But you can also get 4K now on the YouTube, but you have to subscribe to a different service to see it. It's 4K.
Well, I'm saying even on the the story and the reels, is that still 1080 on YouTube?
No, I think the camera only records in 720. I was looking at some side by side somewhere else. I don't know if it was here or whatever, but when I seen that, I was like, As soon as I think that was the only reason I didn't push the damn button is buy $300 glasses. I don't care about that part.
So this says live streaming, up to 30 minutes of live streaming measured at 720p, 30 frames per second. But that's streaming. So if you take photos or record outside of streaming.
Okay. Now we're talking about something.
Now I don't know if that changes. Because I do know when you stream, they don't want high quality videos.
Well, you want to stream in the same quality that you're broadcasting.
Yes. But you're broadcasting. If you're just recording a video, shouldn't it record at a higher?
Yeah, you're right. It says video acquisition 1440 by 1920 pixels. But that's just the...
it's just a resolution.
That's just the, 30 frames per second.
Image acquisition is... Do you say this? 3024 by 4032 pixels. 20 MP ultra wide camera. Some megapixels. Video acquisition is at 1440 by 1920 at 30 frames. But that just tells me that,
Dog, you keep on talking about this shit. I'm gonna pull my credit card and buy this son of a bitch right now.
dude, I'm gonna buy it. Like,
I know.
You just watch those greens and beans, and you will be like, "What the fuck?" Like he's trending, and like he's even buying people's meals if they like get a big video off of like them coming to his truck. He's like, "Dude, we got like 1 million views. Lunch is on me, dude." And he's like, "What?"
I was thinking about like weed eating the property that we have. It'd just be fun to put glasses on so you can see all this shit.
Oh, it's anything.
Oh, there's a snake, you know.
it's anything, and he like he's just working and he's trending, and it's crazy to me. It's like we do some cool stuff, and this guy's just serving food, and people are like literally love watching him. And he's just
plus Laura's trying to do her little cooking thing. This would be perfect because you can see everything she's doing, and she can talk as she's doing it without the microphone and all that.
But if you watch like a bunch of videos back to back, it does seem like you're in a video game. It almost seems like you are watching a video game. It's the whole like first person, like as they record and you keep watching video after video of that, it does get you in this like mindset that you almost are like roller coaster tycoon, like doing it. You know what I mean? Like. So I think if we are working in the warehouse, like if I'm going and I'm operating the forklift, anything like that, when you have that first person view with those glasses, it's a whole different type of sharing of video content of your day. It's way different. I think it's a tool in the toolbox. Like
especially in season. You say you have no idea what day in my life is in season. You'd be able to see all of it right there.
Dude, I saw stuff that they did, and I was like, that's not how we do it. I could instantaneously just hit, like I'm on a site survey, and I just hit record. And I'm just walking around. I'm like, are you kidding me? And it's a real time. Are you kidding me? Like in my voice, you can hear me. Because I'm like, I can't believe I'm looking at this right now. And versus like, oh my gosh, hold on. Let me get my phone out and be like, then you get a different voice, and you're like, oh my gosh, look at what these guys have been doing. Not like, what the? You don't get that. Right. And so I think it's a whole different type of relay.
All right, I'm gonna get it, man. Yeah, but by the time you get here next Friday, by the way, we can end with this. This has been 4.5 hours. Permanent lighting training, Invisalights.
This was really just a hangout session. I don't even know. It was a co-host hangout session, but
we thought like we talked for like 4 hours. It'd be cool if it was recorded, and this was, it was recorded.
But we were also like working through things or coming up with things. And like, that's what I like about podcasts is you come up with things and like talk to people and you're like, well, what about this? What about this? Like the meta glasses, and why aren't we doing this? And like, we're going to do it at our training. Like we're going to have meta glasses and we're going to be installing, and it's going to be first person installing. It's like, who's doing that? No one. Dude, okay. Well, we are.
Dude, that would be fucking tits, dude. That's what I'm thinking.
And then it's like, okay, here, put on my glasses and install, and then we're going to add that to your video.
Yeah, for $379, fucking done, dude. On the way, let's go.
So you want to do? I'm going to shoot content.
If I had your money, I'd buy two.
Shut up. You're gonna be drilling this shit in and like installing it, and we're gonna record you. But then you're gonna also put on the glasses, and then you're gonna be like, and we're gonna cut that and add that to the video.
Go back and forth to the different camera views.
First person, third person, second person. Like you're gonna get all the persons. You know what I mean? But yeah, let me wrap it up. So, Ron, any last words for the viewers of anything maybe you didn't cover or didn't want to, or maybe you want to say? Give us
so the last words I would say, since we've been talking for 4.5 hours and you're only hearing however much you heard, the last words I would share with you is my favorite quote. If you ignore your problems, they won't return the favor. And that is so true. That is so true. So
hold on, let me think about that. If you ignore your problems, they will return the favor.
They won't return the favor.
They won't return. Okay. If you ignore your problems, they won't return the favors. Yeah. That makes sense now.
If you ignore your problems, they won't return the favor. It's going to get worse. Usually it doesn't stay the same. It gets worse. So, stay proactive, man. You got to stay really busy. You always got to be thinking, stop prolonging stuff, stop procrastinating stuff. And if you want something, just get off your ass and get busy. That's
well, it goes into what you just said, get busy. And the main thing I do is I'll put some stuff off and procrastinate, but it's about addressing. So I said that you have to address this now. You can't delay this. You have to address it. So just like my inspection sticker on my car, it's been sitting here in my office and it's almost a year lapse now because I haven't put it on. I'm like, you have to do this now.
Yeah, Laura's like, what if you get pulled over? And I'm like, who's
Those-
pulling me over? I own this place. I don't even drive any. I get every fucking excuse in the world. And, you know, if you're good at excuses, you're seldom good at anything else, you know, so stop fucking making excuses because believe me, nobody wants to hear it. Get off your ass and get busy.
Address it. Get busy. Shit. Come on, Ron.
Yeah, that's a good ending right there.
Headbutting my microphone. Yeah.
All right, brother. But you have a good night, my friend.
Yeah, I got you.
All right.
All right, man.
All right, dog. Later, buddy.